welcome to sunny Bunbury City Kart Club here in the southern part of the great state of Western Australia as we get set to go racing for day 2 of the patriciacourse.com Goldstar Series. What a fantastic weekend we've had so far, qualifying in the first 3 rounds of heat races completed yesterday for all of our classes, and last night wrapping up with a 25-lap thriller for KZ2 in their final here at the 4th round of the West Australian KZ Series, and Tommy Sparks putting on a show once again, driving to a 3rd straight round win in 3 rounds, and he goes into the final round still trailing Blake Mills for the championship standings when we head to the final up at Tiger Kart Club's Wanneroo International Raceway in 2 weeks' time at the Arise Racing Carnival of Karts. Today, though, it's all about the other 12 remaining classes as we run through their 20-lap finals. The driver who crosses the finish line first on the final lap in the 20-lap features today will be your round winner for the Goldstar Series here at the final round, brought to you by patriciacourse.com, and we are set to get underway with KA4 Junior Heavy, presented by MAS Equipment. Coming up in just a few moments, we are due to roll out at 8 a.m. sharp, so waiting on the final couple of karts to come to the grid, and some great shots across Bunbury City Kart Club. This is your order of racing, with the exception of number 4. KZ2 will not run for the rest of today as they wrapped up all of their heats and finals last night. We will run in this order to crown the round winners at the final round of the patriciacourse.com Goldstar Series in succession here today at Bunbury City Kart Club, and we are blessed with fantastic weather. A little bit warmer today than it was yesterday, peaking out at around about 22, 23 degrees. Yesterday we're due to hit approximately 25 here in Bunbury, and we've been so lucky to get some phenomenal weather across the entire weekend, and the races will be blessed with beautiful track conditions to greet them out in the morning. Great shots out in the pits as drivers and mechanics warm up the karts and warm up engines. We spot the Cadet 9 entry of young Connor Mayer, who's really made a storming entrance into West Australian karting over the last few weeks, making his open meeting debut at Coburn International Raceway a few weeks ago for the City of Perth titles, and he put the thing on pole on debut ahead of the Cadet 9 stalwarts of young Campbell Thompson and Chase Webb. They've had some fantastic racing all weekend long so far in Cadet 9s as well, and I'm excited to see them come out in a few moments' time. As we look out to the southwest portion of Bunbury City Kart Club, and the pits are awash with tents. It's a miniature festival out there in the pits, and a tent city that forms and travels around West Australia as we go to each and every major event at the varying tracks all around our great state. But we are here for one thing and one thing only, to race for the win. In 20 laps for the finals here at Bunbury City Kart Club. We'll be on deck with KA4 Junior Heavy in just a few moments. Well, the time starts as the karts roll out on track to get things started off. KA4 Junior Heavy, brought to you by MAS Equipment, servicing the goldfields for mining and civil and fabrication work you can need. MAS Equipment out there in Kalgoorlie supporting our KA4 Junior Heavies, and it's great to see a field of Junior Heavy in contention this weekend. All throughout yesterday's qualifying and heat races, it was about two young drivers, Jack Kaiulo and James McCucci-Allen, fighting it out across the day. But it all comes down to this. 20 laps on the board for KA4 Junior Heavy. Kaiulo on the pole, McCucci-Allen on second, young Joel Wheeler from third. Ethan Flynn will start from the fourth spot here. Lincoln Fellows from P5. Matthias Harris out of 6. Nathan Lee from 7. Kalen Edwards in the 8. And Thomas Eaton rounding out your 9-kart starting grid. As we are lights out and racing. 20 laps on the board for KA4 Junior Heavy. And once again, Kaiulo and McCucci-Allen breaking away early at the start. Wheeler is all the way almost off the racetrack, sideways through the flat-out kart sweeper. The red and white Birillard chassis dropping off to the 5 spot on the opening couple of corners, but young Kaiulo trying to break away from the field already, building himself a couple of kart lengths buffer over James McCucci-Allen as they head up into the top end of the racetrack through Hot Weld Fabrications and across the top towards the Avalon Transport Peak before they make the run down the Bunbury Toyota Main Straight. Lap 1 in the books here for KA4 Junior Heavy final on a beautiful Sunday morning here at Bunbury City Kart Club, Chris Walk Raceway. As we pick up on the battles further behind, Matthias Harris, Ethan Flynn, Joel Wheeler, and Lincoln Fellows fighting it out as they come out of the flat-out kart sweeper. As they charge out of the midsection from Air Force Air Conditioning Southwest up towards the Hot Weld Fabrication corners. Wheeler helping Ethan Flynn aside a little bit of the use of the nose cone. And across the top end into Avalon Transport, Wheeler has some work to do. He's been consistently knocking around the top 3. Just edging himself into 3rd throughout the heat race, but now finds himself well and truly on the back foot. Back into P5 as they come into the flat-out kart sweeper once again. Remembering we are only a 10th of the way through the full race distance. 10-lap heat races yesterday. We double it for the final this morning. So we'll see who's got the long-run setups on board their karts to make sure they can survive 20 laps with consistent pace on board. Jack Kaiulo looks to have gone very early with a hot setup on board the number 88 Perth Metal Recyclers Arrow X5 chassis. We'll see if it pays dividends ahead of James McCucci-Allen there in second. In the battle for 3rd here, Matthias Harris still holding on to the 3 spot from Ethan Flynn, Joel Wheeler and Lincoln Fellows. Bumper to bumper trying to chase him as they head through Air Force Air Conditioning. Wheeler grabbing a bit of the inside curve at Air Force. Tags the outside rumble strip and uses every inch of the racetrack. He's under pressure from Fellows. As Flynn took a little peek up the inside of Matthias, couldn't find a way around. It looks like we have unfortunately lost Kalen Edwards out of contention across the top end of the racetrack as your leaders come down the Bunbury Toyota Main Straight. Out of the flat-out kart sweeper. Still Harris, Flynn, Wheeler and Fellows fighting for 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th on track. Early days in a 20-lap final. Yeah, checking in on your race leaders at the moment. Kaiulo with a 38.04. He leads out by about 9/10 of a second from James McCucci-Allen there in second. And the spot's well out front. Now a dropped wheel for Ethan Flynn brings Joel Wheeler up alongside in a drag race down towards Canteen Corner. Off the end of the Bunbury Toyota Main Straight. Flynn will be under pressure here, but Fellows couldn't pounce on him. Young Ethan in the number 13. Tony Kart entry with Onto It graphics on the side. Now finds himself the meat in the sandwich between Wheeler and Fellows. As they head up the hill, Fellows has a look up the inside, but checked on it and jumped on the brakes and pulled back in behind to stay P5. Down the Bunbury Toyota main straight, we follow Joel Wheeler, the 57 Birillart chassis. In P4, trying to close the gap down to Matthias Harris for the 3 spot now. Ethan Flynn, very quick through the flat-out kart sweeper, gives him a bit of grief in the middle of the corner. Snags the bumper bar and slides off the racetrack in the middle here. He rejoins just ahead of Lincoln Fallows with a smart piece of driving. Fallows tapping the brake and pulls up to the inside at the top of the hill through Hot Weld Fabrication, but Flynn, he's a stubborn young fella, holds him out all the way around the outside. And Flynn trying to hang on, he's bouncing in the seat all the way down the Bunbury Toyota main straight, trying to hold off young Lincoln Fallows behind him. Fallows looks to the inside of the flat-out kart sweeper and picks him off. So Flynn losing ground as further up the road. Young Joel Wheeler is closing the gap to Matthias Harris for 3rd. As a check on your leaders, 4 minutes 24.7 for Kaiulo, 4 minutes 25.4 for Makuchi Allen, 7/10 of a second. The gap, young James is closing the gap to Jack Kaiulo as we approach the halfway point. Very soon you see them disappear across the bottom of your screen. Down the Bunbury Toyota main straight, Matthias Harris and Joel Wheeler back there. 3rd and 4th on the road. Wheeler is trying to close the gap and he's brought it right up onto the rear bumper of Harris. Rocking the number 46, Tony Kart entry. And the fight will be on for 3rd in the coming laps here as we get closer and closer to the halfway point here of your KA4 Junior Heavy Final. Brought to you by MAS Equipment. And a big thank you to all of our live streaming sponsors as well. West Australian KZ Committee, Bunbury Toyota, Avalon Transport, Blackman Fabrication, Mirrabooka and Nollamara Car Transport, All Out Towing Services, Totally Independent Tyre Service and Mechanical, TW Mechanical, Hot Weld Fabrication, Flat Out Karts, and Arise Racing for all the support to put on the weekends of live streaming. As now we've brought it back into a 4-kart fight for 3rd. Harris, Wheeler, Fallows and Flynn chasing each other through the Air Force air conditioning corners in the centre of this great racetrack here at Bunbury City Kart Club as they battle it out for the remaining placings. Still keeping an eye on the fight out front. It's only 2.8 of a second in the battle for the lead between Jack Kaiulo and James Makuchi Allen. The battles are really happening all over the place. Not sure where to put our cameras at the moment, but it's Kaiulo leading the way from James Makuchi Allen. I did say a hot setup at the start of the race might have been going too hard too early. James Makuchi Allen with the 41 Amiga kart, but he usually campaigns in the junior light category, switching over to the Arrow for the heavy class this weekend after he was unable to acquire a Vortex DVS engine to compete in KA2 here at Bunbury City Kart Club. Now finds himself all over the rear bumper of Kaiulo, down the Bunbury Toyota main straight, weaving to break the toe as they head towards Canteen Corner, now on the run down towards the flat-out kart sweeper. And the fight behind them, still fighting it out for 3rd as we catch that battle briefly. But our eyes are on the battle for the lead right now. 9 laps to go, last time across the line. Kaiulo and Makuchi Allen rocking potentially 2 different generations of Arrows junior chassis and very different setups on board. You look at the track width of Kaiulo's kart versus a very narrow rear end of Makuchi Allen. Makuchi Allen up the inside, jags a brake and rubs the tyre sidewall with Kaiulo in a move for the lead. Makuchi Allen leads for the first time with just under 8 laps left to go. Out of Air Force air conditioning, the move for the lead is done, and look at Makuchi Allen, he's just rocketing away, opening up a couple of kart lengths through the midfield of the track after getting the move done at the flat-out kart sweeper a moment ago. As your leaders take it down to the Bunbury Toyota main straightaway. Kaiulo on the back foot now will pick up the battle for 3rd. Still going on. Harris, Wheeler, Fallows and Flynn. Wheeler tags up and checks it up at the Avalon Transport peak. Gives away a kart length or 2 to Matthias Harris down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Wheeler trying to put pressure on him into the Air Force air conditioning corners. But he's got to be careful because he's going to get shafted by the 2 behind him here. Lincoln Fallows and Ethan Flynn pouring on the pressure as they head up towards Hot Weld Fabrications. Fallows under pressure from Flynn now on the inside. And Fallows trying to do to him what Flynn did to him earlier on and hung it all the way around the outside to maintain position. 6 laps to go as Ethan Flynn drops a wheel. Coming onto the Bunbury Toyota main straightaway and loses ground on that pack. So it's a 3-kart battle pack now in the fight for third. Harris, Wheeler and Fallows into Air Force air conditioning once again. As your lead battle has opened up to half a second the difference now, really opening up out front. James McCucci-Allen is in control of this race for KA4 Junior Heavy's final. Brought to you by MAS Equipment. As they click over the line for 5 laps to go on the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Matthias Harris is just proving the goods to maintain position at the moment. As they head down the main straight again, Wheeler is giving away some time. Trying to pour on the pressure and close the gap, but Lincoln Fallows is looking racy to try and put a move on Wheeler in the closing stages. Fallows looking to the outside of Wheeler as they came out of Air Force air conditioning. Not going to find enough real estate to get the job done there, as Wheeler looks to bog the kart down on the exit of Hot World Fabrications and try and spool up the long run to close the gap down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. The run towards the canteen with nice hot breakfast for all of our drivers here this morning to get them warmed up. Now Wheeler to the inside and he feeds it into the bumper. Matthias Harris runs it wide and a little hand out the side, but Wheeler picks up the 3 spot. Ethan Flynn buys his way into this fight. From way back a couple of laps ago, he buys his way into P4. Harris goes to P5. Lincoln Fallows really missed out on the jump there. He goes all the way down to P6 and stays there. As they come out of Hot World Fabrications into the Avalon Transport Peak. 3 to go for your leaders last time they flicked over the line. Down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Joel Wheeler finds himself in third. As the battle for the race lead is really tightened up again. It's only a 1/10 and a half between them. But Ethan Flynn giving Joel Wheeler a big old hurry up as they come out of the flat-out kart sweeper. With 2.5 laps left to go. Roll the dice as Flynn goes past, tags a wheel with Wheeler. Ethan Flynn goes to third. We pick up your race leaders down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Jack Caiulo. He ain't done with McCucci-Allen just yet. Trying to put the pressure on. The number 88 Perth Metal Recyclers Arrow X5 trailing from young McCucci-Allen in the 41 Arrow machine for McCucci-Allen Engineering with a lap and a half left to go. Last time across, there was 1.6 tenths of a second between them. Nothing in it as Caiulo looks to be a bit quicker through the top end of the racetrack, but it's really sparse on passing manoeuvre opportunities there as McCucci-Allen gets a head down. 1 to go. This is the final lap for KA4 Junior Heavy. James McCucci-Allen leads at the final turn of the lap counter. 745 metres between him and a big old number 1 trophy to hoist above his head here at Bunbury City Kart Club for the final round of the PatriciaCourse.com Goldstar Series. Jack Caiulo pouring on the pressure, trying to find a way around as they head up towards the top end of the racetrack. But he's not close enough. McCucci-Allen driving a defensive line into Hot World Fabrication. One more opportunity for Caiulo, but he's too far back to make a move to the inside at Avalon Transport. Onto the main straight for the final time. The checkered flag will fly. James McCucci-Allen wins KA4 Junior Heavy here at the final round of the Goldstar Series from Jack Caiulo home in second. And Ethan Flynn will bolt to the line to claim third in a frantic second half of the race. Ethan Flynn claims third here from Joel Wheeler in fourth, Lincoln Fallows in fifth, Matthias Harris, who was third for more than half of the race, would be very disappointed to come home in P6 after that one from Nathan Lee, rounding out your 7-kart finishing order. McCoochie-Allen, winner of KA4 Junior Heavy. Triple duties for you this weekend, mate. The first one is run and done, and you hold the number 1 above your head. You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, it was a good race. Good job to Jack for coming in second, and yeah, see how the rest of the class go.
How good is it to see a field of junior heavy out again when we're in Western Australia?
Yeah, no, it's good. We got numbers this weekend, which gives them a chance to race.
And how much of a different task is it to wheel a heavy cart around compared to your KA3 junior and your junior light categories?
It's going to take a bit of strength to push it around, but yeah.
Any shout outs for your sponsors and thanks to people at home?
I'd just like to thank Dad for putting the cart together and everything and getting it all ready this weekend.
I just want to hold on to you for 1 second. I want to clarify. I got told you just bought that cart off Gumtree this week.
Yep, it's the moment and everything.
Well, you must be going back to Gumtree to thank that person whoever sold you that cart, mate.
Yeah.
Congratulations, James McCoochie-Allen, your KA4 Junior Heavy winner here at Bunbury City Kart Club. As the Cadet 9s are on the out grid, we'll get ready to go in just a moment. He does. King, oh! It's a wild ride and King in the dirt. Moving on to Cadet 9s, proudly brought to you by Blackman Fabrications. With young Joel Blackman out there in the field as well, proud supporters of West Australian karting and getting behind with their new building out at Naval Base. Happy to perform any fabrication work that you may desire with labour hire and everything in between as well. Give them a call, Blackman Fabrications, as they support our Cadet 9s, the youngest field of karters here in Western Australia, as we get the field lined up on the starting grid. Campbell Thompson from the pole spot alongside William Cusick-Chen. With Chase Webb and Connor Mayer on the second row will prove a very interesting race as the lights go out and send us racing for 20 laps here at Bunbury City Kart Club. The field runs down towards Canteen Corner for the first time into the flat-out kart sweeper. Young Campbell leads away, Cusick-Chen into the second spot. A pair of flat-out karts machines into third and fourth. Would be either Mayer or Webb as we pick them up. And I've got a keen eye on young Connor Mayer, but it looks like it's Chase Webb into the third spot as we watch him run up towards Hot Weld Fabrications for the first time on the opening lap of racing here in the Cadet 9s final for the final round of the PatriciaCourse.com Goldstar Series. Down the Bunbury Toyota main straightaway, Campbell Thompson leads from William Kalsick Chen. And then it is Chase Webb into the third spot. A couple of karts getting caught up through Canteen Corner there. Thompson very wide of the flat-out kart sweeper, comes back across the racing line, and poor William Kalsick Chen didn't know where to go then. He feeds a bumper to Thompson though, and they're going to come out, and we're going to go switching and swapping. Kalsick Chen loses out big time on that one. Chase Webb elevates himself up into second, sets his sights forward on his young mate Campbell. These two, a big old invisible rubber band, joins them at the bumper. Every time they take it out on track, across all the West Australian major open events. Thompson leads from Webb in second, Kalsick Chen in third, Mayer in fourth, and Lucas Kalsick Chen rounding out your top five. Young Connor Mayer back there in the 43 machine will be watching on in earnest, hoping they can slow each other down a little bit. He can get involved in the fight for a podium result here at Bunbury City Kart Club. And what a story that would be to make it onto the podium at your second ever open event, at the final round of a championship in your debut season, as Webb is getting absolutely monstered by young William, heading across the top end of the racetrack towards Avalon Transport Peak, onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Webb gets a head down, elbows out, trying to chase down Campbell Thompson out front as they run past the Canteen Corner. Last time across the line, Chase Webb was the fastest on track, the number 33 West Coast Civil flat-out karts machine, as young Kalsick Chen runs a bit wide at the flat-out kart sweeper and gives away about 3 kart lengths in momentum. Connor Mayer back there watching in fourth, just dropping a wheel coming out of Air Force air conditioning. This 20 lapper for Cadet 9 will prove to be a long one, as the lap times are out towards the 38-second mark. It will take some time to get these races done. And in the cadet classes, it's about tyre pressure and using the tyre in the right time in the race. If you come on too quickly, too early, you might find yourself fading very quickly in the back end of the race, as we pick up with Joel Blackman and Tander Edgington down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. They are fighting it out on track for 8th and 9th on the road as they come into the flat-out kart sweeper. Xander a little bit quicker through the Air Force air conditioning double left. Cadet 9s, you can go racing, I believe from the age of 7 years old, rocking the Vortex Mini Rock engine with a restrictor plate in a class that used to be aptly named midgets back in the day before it became cadets, and you would run cadet or pro cadet in the step to what was called rookies, a comparable class to the pro cadet class before we changed it out between Cadet 9 and Cadet 12. They both run a comparable Vortex Mini Rock engine. The 9s run a restrictor plate to keep the speeds down a little bit for the younger drivers before they step up into Cadet 12s and go a little bit quicker with a similar combination before they start to hit the age where they go through those growth spurts in their early teens and they can step into KA4 junior categories with bigger motors, more power and a bigger tyre. As well, follow the field down the Bunbury Toyota main straight through Canteen Corner and into the flat-out kart sweeper once again. Campbell Thompson leads Chase Webb and William Kalsick Chen fighting it out for 1, 2 and 3 on the road through Air Force air conditioning. As Thompson leads out, new hot lap of the race, a 38.515. It was a 38.7 from Chase Webb back there in second. So Thompson starting to hit his stride as we are 5, 6 laps completed, about to be 7 in your Cadet 9 final, brought to you by Blackman Fabrications. Good job to young lap traffic drivers doing the right thing and jumping out of the way as your leaders come on through with blue lights ablaze. As we approach the halfway point here in Cadet 9, Campbell Thompson jumping over that bump. That top section of the racetrack here at Bunbury City Kart Club is seldom used in its first few years of inception, and as a result has a couple of pretty characteristic bumps across the top end of the track. The bottom half of the track, though, in front of the pits as we watch them go through, very smooth. And I was interestingly walking the track this morning and noticing a very low peak to valley ratio. And when we talk about peak to valley, we talk about how sharp the pebbles are in the track and how much the asphalt has actually settled down between the pebbles. A higher peak to valley ratio will make a track more abrasive and harder on tyres. Here at Bunbury City Kart Club, it's quite low, so a smooth surface with lots of tyre contact patch should provide plenty of grip. And through the corners, it provides a kind of grip that feels like the kart is sliding, so you need to learn to push through the slide of the kart and not be scared that it's going to snap oversteer on you as you fire through the sweeper, but actually still maintains quite kind to the tyre wear as these youngsters come up on the back of the number 17 machine of Emerson Watson, who was lucky to get out on track as they were struggling to get the 17 kart fired up. And it looks like Emerson maybe just walking up Campbell a little bit. They're going to choose to try and go around Emerson as they come onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight. And all three freight train through, but that has allowed them to bunch up down the main straight as we hit the second half of the feature. The Cadet 9's brought to you by Blackman Fabrication. On the note of young Emerson, a tip of the hat to everyone who jumped in to get her out there get the kart out there in the feature there. They were struggling to get it started on the outgrid. But it's great to see we get Emerson out on track and joining the rest of the field for the 20-lap feature. As young William Kalzik-Chen putting a lot of pressure on Chase Webb for second, who balked up just for a moment as they're coming up onto the back of Emerson a lap ago. Campbell Thompson was very lucky to get through unscathed there as they're hanging out the blue and red. The lapping flag for Emerson, I believe, or the next card in line to say you're being lapped, your race is done, you can pull in and save your position. As the field comes out from Air Force Air Conditioning, Thompson, Webb and Kalzik-Chen all glued together as they head up towards Hot Weld Fabrication. They all look over their shoulder a little bit. Kalzik-Chen with his eyes locked forward though. He knows he's got a huge margin back to Connor Mayer and Lucas in fourth and fifth. As they come out of Avalon Transport onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Thompson is managing to open up a bit more of a gap each lap we turn here over Chase up into second as they come up to a little bit more lap traffic. Your leaders pouring through the flat-out kart sweeper. The next three karts in line of Hamish Crofts, Ben Keane and Alexander Hills. We'll be seeing the blue lights come up on the boards as the leaders come up through. And sometimes this can be a real game changer in the race, but they get through the number 7 of Hills relatively unscathed as Campbell Thompson is the pioneer and usually the first one to draw the attention to the lapped karts. He pulls out alongside to pass Ben Keane down the Bunbury Toyota main straight and gets through. So does Chase Webb and young William sneaking on through as they now approach the back end of Hamish. Currently 10th on the road, and that's the issue with these longer finals. A little bit of lap traffic comes into play. Oh no, and it's exactly that coming into play, and Campbell Thompson unfortunately off the road getting caught up with Hamish, and Campbell is frustrated at it. Chase Webb was lucky to be a couple of kart lengths further back and will go to the race lead. William into second. Now's the time for Campbell to really have to flex some muscle, but with 6 laps left to go, it could be a heartbreaking race-defining moment here in Cadet 9s for Blackman Fabricators. Here at Bunbury City Kart Club, Chase Webb and the number 33 West Coast Civil flat-out karts machine leads away from William Kalzik-Chen in second, and Campbell Thompson, your fastest qualifier, and has been leading all race long, finds himself well and truly on the back foot. Last time they came across the line, he was 7.5 tenths off the race lead. But William might have something to say about it here. If he keeps it off the curbs and stops from bogging down the number 20 Arrow machine, he might be able to put a fight on Chase, as Chase really bogged it down onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight there. William buys his way into this fight. A couple more of those ones, Campbell will be thinking he's in with a chance here if they slow each other down. and fight over the race lead. It was 4 laps to go. Last time across the line here at Bunbury City Kart Club, Cadet 9 is going to come down to the wire again as they come out of Air Force air conditioning. Webb, Kalsick, Chen and Thompson chasing each other all the way up towards Hot Weld Fabrication. Thompson is right up onto the back of Kalsick Chen now, trying to put the pressure on as they make the run towards Avalon Transport to start their final 3-2 as Thompson to the inside and gets it done. He goes to second. Chase Webb still maintains the race lead as Thompson drops back to third and he's weaving down the Bunbury Toyota main straight, trying to find a break in the air to park the number 20. But Campbell Thompson soldiering forward. He's got the red mist descended for the youngster on board the 51 KF kart, trying to chase down his mate and Chase Webb. The 33 West Coast Civil flat out karts entry out front. 2.5 laps left to go as they head up towards Hot Weld Fabrication. What a thriller Cadet 9 ends up being again. With a little over 2 laps left to go, down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Webb got a better run of it that time, but Thompson is chasing him. He's in the tow, tucked into the aerodynamic wash, and Webb comes down the short chute towards a flat-out kart sweeper. Turns in early to cover off a challenge that could come from Thompson. He knows his mate is there, and these two have raced against each other for the last 2 years straight in Cadet 9s. Now Thompson pushing Webb all the way up towards Hot Weld Fabrication. He looks over the shoulder. Thompson to the inside. They're going to go side by side at the top, and Webb is going to try and force the issue, but Thompson muscles his way through to the lead. Campbell Thompson on a comeback in the final couple of laps. Last lap board out, 1 to go for Cadet 9s, and he pulls out to break the tow. Webb is in there as well. William Kalsick Chen tucking in behind. He's not done yet in third. Down to the flat-out kart sweeper for the final time here at Bunbury City Kart Club. Thompson just gets much better drive off the sweeper than Webb and Chen do. As they come out of Air Force air conditioning for the final time, Thompson's built himself about a kart length buffer. But Webb is looking quick as they make the run up the hill. He's not close enough to dive to the inside, giving away a kart length to Thompson. As they run towards Avalon Transport on the final lap of your Cadet 9 final. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as they bring it down the line. Campbell Thompson makes a run. Webb trying to drag in there. Thompson wins Cadet 9 here at Bunbury City Kart Club, and slide jobs for the crowd. Chase Webb into second. William Kalsick Chen home in third. Take a bow, Cadet 9s. Ladies and gentlemen, that is thrilling racing from the youngest category of WA karting. Thompson is your winner of the final round of the PatriciaCourse.com Goldstar Series ahead of Chase Webb, 60 thousandths of a second at the finish line between them, with William Kalsick Chen home in third. Connor Mayer makes it P4 for the newcomer to West Australian karting ahead of Lucas Kalsick Chen in P5. Diago Stewart comes home P6 from Xander Edgington in P7. Grady Crofts in P8. Ben Keane in P9. Alexander Hills in P10. Hamish Crofts in P11. As we pick up the last couple of laps, Joel Blackman, Emerson Watson and Lucas Deans rounding out your finishing order. That was Cadet 9s for Blackman Fabrications here at Bunbury City Kart Club. Campbell Thompson, your Cadet 9 winner. Mate, 20 laps of Bunbury City Kart Club. It's a hard task. How are you feeling after that race?
Very exhausted.
Mate, the traffic out there is another issue to deal with, but racing with Chase and William over 20 laps to come across, do you know how much you won by? That much. 60 thousandths of a second is all is in it. You are your Cadet 9s winner. You want to thank your sponsors and your family?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Kip Foster for Amazing Kart and Engine and my family for bringing me down here and supporting me.
Congratulations, Campbell Thompson, your Cadet 9 winner here at Bunbury City Kart Club for the final round of the PatriciaCourse.com Goldstar Series. Off we go, and we're straight back on track. It's all coming at you here from Bunbury City Kart Club. Another 20-lap final yet to come. Well, no rest for the wicked here at Bunbury City Kart Club. Air Force Air Conditioning Southwest presenting Tag 125 Restricted Light as they get set to come on out for a 20-lap feature. And if I was a betting man, I would put my money between anyone in this top three, Healy, Bauscher, or Garner. With, I believe, a win each in the heat races, Josh Healy from the pole spot leads them away for 20 laps on the board here at Bunbury City Kart Club. Number 3 KF Kart rocking his way out of the flat-out kart sweeper to snake the field all the way through Air Force Air Conditioning Southwest corners, and the double left in the middle of this fantastic racetrack that puts on some awesome racing for us. Thomas Bauscher into second. Cody Garner is a bit of a wild card, been somewhat absent from Open Series events here in Western Australia, but brings it out at his home event with the number 22 machine for ARC Racing, Dapco, Eaton, and Thompson's Auto Parts. With a bit of old school action, the OTK kart in third as Healy and Bauscher drag Garner with them as they lead away from the rest of the field. It looks like Sebastian Fiorenza into the fourth spot here, another one of the ARC karting competitors from Bunbury City Kart Club in the 71 machine. He's back there in P4, trying to see if he can go with them early enough in this one. Taylor Campbell in P5, Glenn Fisher in P6, Nikita Morozov in 7, Richard Reynolds in 8, Quinton Stevens in 9, and Simon May rounds out your top 10 at the moment. But Healy getting the head down and doing work early. Bauscher has the legs down the straight though. It's an X30, plays a Rotax at the pointy end of the field. Garner rocking the Rotax power for the OTK car. The same for Fiorenza, they know what's up. But Josh Healy flying the flag for the X30 boys at the moment. Here in 125 Restricted Light. Trying to get it done with what's considered to be the softer of the two engines, with a bit of a weight advantage to his name as they stretch across the top end of the racetrack into Avalon Transport Peak, down the Bunbury Toyota Main Straight. We are 3 laps completed, 17 to go. Cody Garner swapping hot laps with Josh Healy here, who's leading the way into the flat-out kart sweeper, and Healy is going to make this number 3 KF kart seem 17 yards wide. He drives a very defensive race and knows how to defend from Tom Bauscher. They've been in this situation before, and you can see that bit of defensive driving is allowing Sebastian Fiorenza to drive up into the play and have a 4-kart fight. And I just wish we didn't lose Daniel Clark in competition yesterday. Unfortunately, an engine failure brought him unstuck, because he would be right in this mix in a 5-kart battle pack with him in the final. But old mate Clarkie has to sit this one out and watch on from either here on the sidelines at Bunbury City Kart Club or from the comfort of his home. As famously, he bought his way into the fight up at Hurricane Go-Kart Club for the King of the Hill a couple of months ago in a frantic final few laps with himself, Josh Healy and Tom Bauscher. The odd ones out here we haven't seen in competition with these boys for a little while. Cody Garner and Sebastian Fiorenza in the mix in third and fourth at the moment as they come out of Avalon Transport under the Bunbury Toyota Main Straight. 5 down, 15 to go. We're at 1/4 race distance past the Canteen Corner, and Healy still driving, super defensive. Through the flat-out kart sweeper, Bauscher trying to push him along and encourage a bit more of a flowing line to see if they can open up a gap over Garner and Fiorenza. Bauscher has a little peek to the inside, fakes out Healy, who's going to bog it down on the exit of Hot Weld Fabrication. As they drive it up towards the Avalon Transport Peak and onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight once again. 6 down, 14 to go. Keeping an eye on the lap speed. Keeping an eye on the chart as now Sebastian Fiorenza is the fastest on track right now. A 34.402. He backed it up with a 5.01 last time across. It was 34.41s and 4.1s for Healy and Bauscher out front. Just a thousandth of a second between them on lap speed. This is going to be a close one. And Tom Bauscher is a cagey racer. He knows what it takes to get it done in a final. And you'd think at the moment he's possibly just buying his time. Just waiting a little bit. And he'll wait until the last few laps to try and make that move. At the moment, he's pushing Healy along, trying to get him to hurry up as he pulls to the inside and fakes it, stabs the brake and brings Garner back up to them into the flat-out kart sweeper. You get the feeling that Bauscher and Healy could both be a lot quicker if they weren't driving a defensive race and dragging Garner and Fiorenza with him. And Garner still dropping a wheel every time he comes out of the Air Force air conditioning double left in the middle of the track there before they head up towards Hot Weld Fabrication, now into the Avalon Transport Peak. And look at the run they get off the corner. As a mechanical flag, it looks like being hung out there for one driver from our main timing tower. The first thing you start to look for when you see a mechanical is whether someone's got a bumper bar hanging off. It doesn't seem to be any of our top four, who are split up into two battle packs here. As Sebastian Fiorenza says to Cody Garner, I want to have a crack at them now, and he moves Garner down to the 4th spot. They're either going to have a crack at the leaders or be in a fight of their own for 3rd, and giving away that much speed, they're out of the tow on the main straight. And that will see the lead two, Bauscher and Healy, break away and have a battle of their own as we're approaching the halfway point here in 125 restricted light for the final for Air Force Air Conditioning Southwest. Crossing the halfway point, 10 down, 10 to go. And this move is not going to happen until the final couple of laps. Healy continues to make the KF kart nice and wide for Tom Bauscher. And they've dragged Sebastian Fiorenza up onto the back of their battle now. So Fiorenza in the number 71 ARC karting entry might have something to say here as he runs the Cosmic chassis. It's great to see 3 different brands of kart out front. Effectively the lead pair are on a similar platform, with Healy rocking the older generation of the KF kart that was based around the Drew Price Engineering X5 platform. You can tell as they come past the camera with the blue chassis rails is the X5 platform chassis underneath Healy in the number 3 machine. Bauscher with the Arrow version of the same platform out of Drew Price Engineering. Sebastian Fiorenza with an OTK equivalent to a Cosmic or a Tony kart, or even a Fernando Alonso chassis for that matter, as they head across the top end into Avalon Transport. Hanger right and down the hill towards the canteen as they rocket down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Garner further back in the OTK, number 22, has dropped off a little bit and might have to just settle for 4th here today on a beautiful Sunday morning at Bunbury City Kart Club. It's Healy and Bauscher. Healy's actually managed to build about a kart length of an advantage. Bauscher might have settled for it and might have given up the ghost, but I know Tom, and he hasn't given up yet. He won't give up till that flag drops on the end of the final lap. As we approach 7 to go on the Bunbury Toyota main straight, he's closer this time across. Continuing to try and pour on the pressure, and Sebastian Fiorenza has dropped off the back of this battle as well. He fakes to the inside, Bauscher. And Healy jags the brake pedal and slides the number 3 KF through the flat-out kart sweeper as they tip on in to the Air Force air conditioning double left. Tom Bauscher a lap ago was a little bit further behind. He's giving up a bit of time as they head through the middle of the track. As they head across the top end of the racetrack, 6 laps to go as they come across the start-finish. Tom Boucher fastest on track at 34.1. He put that together just a couple of laps ago. They're both clicking off in the 34.2s now. Healy and Boucher, lap times don't matter if you're not at the front though. And Tom Boucher wants to be the man to come across the line first and take a win this morning here at Bunbury City Kart Club for the final round of the patriciacourse.com Goldstar Series. Healy continuing to get more and more defensive as the laps click off. He's driving almost halfway down the racetrack as they head up towards Hot Wheeled Fabrication. Certainly not the faster line. And Boucher might start to get frustrated at that as he looks over his shoulder to check on the progress of Sebastian Fiorenza back there in third. As they come out of Canteen Corner, 5 to go, 3/4 race distance. It's go time for Tom Boucher to try and put something together on Josh Healy. And Josh just jagging the curb there. Cost him a little bit of momentum. Now Boucher is closer than he's ever been before, but Healy fakes really tight to the inside line as they head up towards Hot Wheeled Fabrication. Boucher buttons out of it and takes a normal race line to see if he can gain a bit of momentum and closing speed on the back of the number 3 KF of Healy. And Healy manages to actually open up about a half a kart length as they come onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight. It's going to take a monumental move from Tom Boucher to get the job done here. Track position is everything if your name is Josh Healy. The man knows how to drive a defensive race, but we've seen it before. Boucher looks to the inside. Yellows are out though at the top end of the racetrack because there's 2 karts off the side of the track. Unfortunately, we lost another 2 from contention here in our 125 restricted light final, brought to you by Air Force Air Conditioning Southwest. Healy looks over his shoulder again as they come onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight. 3 to go. It's on for young and old, and I mean that, between Healy and Boucher. A certain age difference between them and a difference in their level of driving maturity. Boucher with a very level head on his shoulders, trying to put some pressure on Josh Healy, who's driving a very cagey race. You can see he's rigid in the shoulders, his neck is solid, and he's just working the wheel, trying to maintain as much corner speed as he can. 2 laps remaining. 10% from home, and a big slide into the flat-out kart sweeper. Healy continues to drive a very defensive race. 20 laps of defensive driving is all worth it if you're still P1 at the end of the final lap as we approach that now. Across the top end of the racetrack out of Hot Wheeled Fabrication. And it's a bit late for Tom Boucher, starting to really run out of opportunities as they come down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. This is the final lap for 125 restricted light here at Bunbury City Kart Club. Cody Garner is back there in the 4th spot, wishing what could have been. As Sebastian Fiorenza sits in 3rd, hoping to pick up the pieces if these two come unstuck and slow each other down. But Tom Boucher, on a mission, has 1, maybe 2 final opportunities to have a crack at it here. But he's going to go for a look, but Healy covers him off as they come across the top into Avalon Transport for the final time. Healy has a gap, and he's going to maintain that the checkered flag will fly. Josh Healy will win 125 restricted light here at Bunbury City Kart Club. From Thomas Boucher home in 2nd, and he's a happy man. A fist bump in the air and a clench from here. And Sebastian Fiorenza claims 3rd to be on the podium. And some happy handshakes as they drive around on their cool-down lap. Joshua Healy wins the final round of the 125 restricted light class here at the patriciacourse.com Goldstar Series. From Thomas Boucher across the line in 2nd, Sebastian Fiorenza home in 3rd, from Cody Garner in the 4th spot, and Glenn Fisher rounding out your top 5. Down here with Josh Healy, your winner for 125 Restricted Light here at Bunbury City Kart Club. 20 laps of brutally defensive driving. Was your head on a swivel? Have you got neck pains after that one, looking for Tom Boucher so often?
Oh, that was hard work. Such a great drive by Tom. Like, didn't give me a break at all. Such a good race. I knew he was there the whole time, giving me bumps. It was just good, hard, clean racing, I think.
The lap chart and the footage will tell very different stories. You're leading from lights to flag, but mate, to come across only a tenth of a second to your next rival in a close battle that could have brought Cody Garner or Sebastian Fiorenza into the mix, what goes through your mind when you hit that halfway point knowing that you've done 10 laps of brutal driving and you still have another 10 to go?
Yeah, it was hard work. I was just hoping the tyres were going to hold on, they weren't going to heat up because we were both pushing pretty hard. Just trying to keep the kart to last the full 20 laps and keep pushing, I guess.
Any sponsors and friends you need to thank for the weekend?
Yeah, all the families come out. Dad for all the hard work. Shift Engineering for all the help they have. Yeah, thanks for the commentary. Been awesome this weekend. Cheers.
There you go. Josh Healy is your 125 Restricted Light winner here at the final round of the Patrizzi Course Goldstar Series. We'll be back with more action in just a moment. Welcome back to the racing action here at Bunbury City Kart Club for the final round of the PatrizziCourse.com Goldstar Series. KA4 Junior Light brought to you by Custom Engineering. Make their way out on track for their formation laps as we get set for another 20-lap thriller. 21 drivers in KA4 Junior Light, the first step out of cadets, where drivers find themselves contending with bigger tyres, more power, and a lot more testosterone in the field. It's Noah Lyle and James McCucci-Allen on the front row, with Deckers and Zane Rhodes finding himself inside the top 5 on his KA4 Junior Light open meeting debut. Great to see the number 26 Vulcan Panel and Paint entry into P4. Kate Davey goes to P5 with Ethan Traeger from the 6th spot. Sebastian Guest will start from P7. Ahead of Jackson Mitchell-Rosenauer and Luke Fraser, with James Buchan rounding out your top 10. From Guest and Adams, Watkins and Payne, Parham and Wendt, Horn and Campbell, McClurg and Carbone, as they all bring it down onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Lights out, we are racing. 20 laps on the board for KA4 Junior Light. And it's Noah Lyle, who's been the class of the field so far in this category for the weekend here at the final round of the PatriciaCourse.com Goldstar Series, who leads away into the Air Force Air Conditioning Southwest double left-handers. Bit of carnage further back in the field as we got cart space in the wrong direction, and a spot in 88 of potentially Jackson Mitchell-Rosenauer taking the rallycross option on the way out of Air Force Air Conditioning. He's going to drop to the back of the pack as the field snakes their way across the top end of Bunbury City Kart Club's 745 metres of beautiful racing surface here. Lyle trying to open up a gap already over what looks like Aidan Deckers in the 33 Flora Plant KF kart into the second spot. James McCucci-Allen in the third. Kay Davey in the 75 Wheatfix entry into P4. Then Zane Rhodes in the Arrow chassis for Autopro Canningvale, Malibu Boats and Right to Drive. He goes to P5. Ethan Traeger back there in P6, trying to put some pressure on the back of Rhodes as they climb the hill towards Hot Weld Fabrication. The battle on for second here. See Deckers and McCucci-Allen getting into it, having a discussion about who's going to try and chase down Noah Lyle, because somebody needs to try and put on a fight and challenge the top step of the podium here at Bunbury City Kart Club. Someone needs to get after him, because Lyle is building a buffer already. 0.6 of a second at the end of the first flying lap as Traeger and Rhodes having a discussion as they come out of flat-out kart sweeper. Only 2 laps completed, 18 left to go. Noah Lyle trying to check out early, put the hurt on the field, and then cruise home is the game plan for young Noah Lyle in the Arise Racing and Flat Out Karts number 4 machine. It's Deckers and McCucci-Allen still fighting about who wants to be second and third. Kay Davey sitting back there in the 4th spot. The number 75 Wheatbix machine rocking the KF kart chassis as they come down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Once again, the gap for the lead opens up to 6.5 of a second as James McCucci-Allen sets the fastest lap of the race at 37.24. That time by for Noah Lyle was at 37.37. And Deckers, the man in the middle right now, is going to be a cork in the bottle if he doesn't get a hurry up with McCucci-Allen on the 41. McCucci-Allen Engineering Amiga chassis trying to put some pressure on him as they come out of Hot Weld Fabrication across the top end towards Avalon Transport. It's one thing to maintain the gap out front, but they really need to get a move on to try and close that. 6.5 of a second to Noah Lyle out front. Last time across, it stays at 0.6 of a second this time as Deckers has a hot lap of the race, but McCucci-Allen tries on a massive slide job into the flat-out kart sweeper and somehow pulls it off. McCucci-Allen, the magician, making the number 41 Amiga kart fit into a gap where it's not humanly possible. Through the flat-out kart sweeper, elevates himself up into second. Just after Deckers started to get going, that's really hurt young Aiden's momentum, and he's fallen back into the clutches of Kay Davey for 4th. But now Noah Lyle has opened up the gap a little bit more. You can see it as they come down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. 0.9 of a second as a result of McCucci-Allen's piece of driving a moment ago. That slowed both of them down and allowed your race leader to open up a little bit further. We're 5 down, 15 to go for KA4 Junior Light, brought to you by Custom Engineering. Watching the moves getting put on Kay Davey at the moment. He's losing ground hardcore from 4th. He's lost ground to Traeger and Rhodes on this lap as they both muscle their way past him. And Davey stuck it in reverse gear on the previous lap, has dropped a couple of spots now as Ethan Traeger and Zane Rhodes elevate themselves up into P4 and 5 respectively. James McCucci-Allen is putting in the work to try and close the gap to Noah Lyle out front. 7.2 of a second is the gap between them. Last time across the line has opened up about a 0.4 of a second advantage over Aidan Deckers back there in 3rd, who sits 0.7 clear of Traeger in 4. And another half a second further back to Zane Rhodes, rounding out your top 5. Behind them we have Davey, Guest, Fraser, Buchan, and Payne rounding out your top 10, with Mitchell Rosenau in 11 from Dylan Guest in 12. Then Went, Watkins, Parham, Campbell, Horn, McClurg, Adams and Pearce making up your top 20. We'll follow the battle here with Zane Rhodes and Kay Davey. Into the Air Force air conditioning double left. Rhodes really leaning in the seat, trying to get the weight transfer on the number 26 machine, trying to generate the traction. It's a bit of a challenge for the newer and smaller drivers into the KA4 categories. They find themselves struggling to generate weight transfer before they hit their growth spurts and start to step up and generate the height they need to put some grip on the outside tyres. Can sometimes be solved with simply making a narrower track width, but the opposite can also be true. Just think about Luca Nietzsche, the young superstar making his presence felt in the senior categories. He's still the smallest of the field. That also said, Nietzsche having a bit of a shocker weekend so far here at Bunbury City Kart Club. We'll pick him up in Tag 125 Light coming up very soon. We'll follow the battle some more between Zane Rhodes and Kay Davey, finding it out 5th and 6th on the road as James McCucci-Allen puts in hot lap after hot lap to try and chase down your leader. 0.2 of a second was the gap last time across. McCucci-Allen is on a mission as they come out of Air Force air conditioning. There they are, heading into the top end of the racetrack. McCucci-Allen has brought this down from a 0.9 of a second lead down to 0.2 only for Noah Lyle in the number 4 Arise Racing and Flat Out Karts Arrow X5 chassis. Leading the 41 McCucci-Allen Engineering Omega as they come onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Lyle checks over his shoulder. Knows he's got to get a move on and try and extract a bit more pace from the number 4 machine as we're into the second half of your KA4 Junior Light Final, brought to you by Custom Engineering. 1.9 of a second and a hot lap 36.530. It was a 5.65 last time across for McCucci-Allen, a 5.90 for Noah Lyle. He's eked out another couple of hundredths of a second. Now he's on the back of Lyle. It's really hard to get that closing speed that he was having a couple of laps ago. As they come onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight. 8 laps to go for Noah Lyle and James McCucci-Allen out front. Ethan Traeger has found himself into the 3rd spot as well at Aiden Deckers, putting him down to P4 in the second battle pack there. Followed by Davey and Rhodes, who pick up these two out of Air Force air conditioning. They just recently switched around with Traeger in the number 63 Corsa kart, getting the job done to try and get on the podium here at Bunbury City Kart Club for the final round of the PatriziaCourse.com Goldstar Series. PatriziaCourse.com, proud supporters of West Australian karting. Of course, Michael Patrizzi at the helm of the brand. Been a long-time West Australian karter and promoter and supporter of karting prodigies and youngsters moving up through the ranks. It's great to see him getting behind our cause here in WA and promoting racing to try and get everything to the next level and grow karting into the awesome sport that it can be, because it is fantastic. Almost equivalent to vehicular combat we take onto the track on a regular basis. Noah Lyle and James McCucci-Allen might be the proof of that in the coming laps. We are 6 laps to go this time by down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. 0.2 of a second is all that stands between them as McCucci-Allen puts in a new hot lap of the race, 36.37. Half a tenth quicker than Noah Lyle, who, give him credit, has opened up the taps and found a bit more pace to try and maintain his race lead over McCucci-Allen, but the 41 Omega is very strong at the moment. McCucci-Allen just has to pick his moment. And as you approach the final 5 laps of this KA4 Junior Light Final, McCucci-Allen will start to be really thinking about where he's faster than Lyle and where he can put a move on as he stays in the slipstream down the Bunbury Toyota main straight towards the Canteen corner. The battle for the race lead and the battle for 3rd and 4th is still on between Traeger and Deckers. We'll pick up on them for just a moment as they come into Air Force air conditioning. Aiden Deckers has gone back to the 3rd spot now, the number 33 Flora Plant KF kart, putting Traeger back down to P4, and that slowed each other down. That brings Kay Davey, the 75 Weet-Bix entry. He's moving his way in onto this fight for the final spot on the podium here at Bunbury City Kart Club. The leaders going down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. We picked them up, and across the line it was just under 0.2 of a second between them last time across. Into the flat-out kart sweeper, it's 2.05 tenths as Kay Davey back there in P5 just sets up the screen on going purple. The 75 Weet-Bix kart is the fastest on track with 4 laps to go as they came across the line. As he pops into the frame for just a moment, he's at the back of that battle pack in P5. Not sure where to look at the moment. It's Lyle and McCoochie-Allen fighting for the win as they come up onto the back of a bit of lap traffic. That's the 18 of lap traffic as they come onto the Bunbury Toyota main straightaway. As they come down the straight, they both get clear. But the lap traffic jumping out of the way at the last minute. It's ever so close between Lyle and McCoochie-Allen at the front. Traeger, Deckers and Davies still having a discussion about third. They've switched around again. Traeger goes to third, Deckers to fourth, but this battle for the lead is absolutely phenomenal. We try and pull back and grab your battle for third behind, but we want to stay with this. Can McCoochie-Allen put something together to grab Noah Lyle for the race lead with just over 2 laps left to go? No lap traffic in sight at the moment as they come onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight, but McCoochie-Allen has given away a couple of kart lengths. Now this could be a game. This could be a chess move from young McCoochie-Allen, or it just could be some outright track pace from young Noah Lyle. Look at him leaning in the seat, trying to generate grip on the outside tyre as they come out of the flat-out kart sweeper. Through Air Force air conditioning for the second to final time. And out of Hot World Fabrications, McCoochie-Allen, who gave away a couple of kart lengths at the beginning of the lap, has closed right up onto the back of Noah Lyle again. Expecting another hot lap here as they're going to go weaving down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. This is the final lap for KA4 Junior Light, and James McCoochie-Allen is going to get the elbows out and put the pressure real hard onto the back of Noah Lyle. Lyle was defensive into the sweeper. McCoochie-Allen's not close enough to draw alongside into Air Force air conditioning as they come on out and head into the top part of the racetrack. Lyle very dicey. He goes to the inside. McCoochie-Allen up the inside. They're going to go side by side. McCoochie-Allen gets it done. James McCoochie-Allen with a red miss late move, but Lyle's not done with it. They're going to go side by side off into the dirt. Noah Lyle will take the win. McCoochie-Allen will be very disappointed for second. Ethan Traeger on the podium in third. Aiden Deckers in fourth, and Kay Davey will round out your top 5 in a thrilling final lap for KA4 Junior Light. back on track. Tag 125 Light, brought to you by TNN Sheet Metal. Coming out to play for their 20-lap feature. And so far, it's been all about Hugh Maguire. The digital quarter, number 15, Tony Cart, has been the class of the field all weekend long as we catch some great shots from planes arriving and departing from the Bunbury Airport, just to the north of where we sit here at Bunbury City Kart Club. Of course, us and Bunbury Airport separated by the motocross track just next door as we get set to go. Lights out and racing. Not waiting around for this one. 125 Light for TNN Sheet Metal is go. Maguire leads away on lap 1. Kip Foster into second. The number 20 KF kart finding himself in prime position. A challenge with the quick youngster. Out front, Ash Morrissey looks like he's in third. The number 89 Sarah Cart. And Isaac McLean goes to the 4th spot. Kieran Ellis goes to P5. It looks in the KF kart, the number 39 machine. As they come on out and across the top end of the racetrack on the opening lap of racing. 125 Light brought to you by TNN Sheet Metal. Proud supporters of West Australian karting. All over our great state of WA. As Hugh Maguire opens up proceedings for us in 125 Light over Kip Foster in second. Ash Morrissey a little bit further back in third from McLean and Ellis, your top 5. Then Flynn Thompson in P6, Liam Kane in 7, Hayden Fraser, Ryan Nicholson and Daryl Henderson. Good to see Daryl making a return back to racing, rocking a Ricardo kart in all white stealth. The number 51, he's had a bit of a rough ride in the opening heats yesterday, but slowly finding his feet. And back into fine form as Isaac McLean drops a wheel onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight and gives up the spot to Kieran Ellis, the number 39 KF kart. McLean shuts it off at the flat-out kart sweeper. As some action taking place a little bit further back in the field. It looks like it brought Ryan Nicholson unstuck. And Shay Thompson, the number 95 Arrow chassis, in the fence at the end of the flat-out kart sweeper. Will take no further part. So Thompson and Nicholson come into grief at the flat-out kart sweeper, brings their races undone, but it's Maguire and Foster out front, trying to drag Morrissey with them at the moment. And then further back, Kieran Ellis in P4. Isaac McLean still in P5, and the number 33 Formula K kart from Flynn Thompson and Liam Kane. Hot on his heels, Hayden Fraser, number 26 machine behind them. And then Daryl Henderson bringing up the back of that group as they come out of Hot Weld Fabrication. Flynn Thompson muscles his way past Isaac McLean. Now Kane trying to set up a move. This is a fight for the midfield in 125 Light. This X30 class, you can't lift. If you get off the throttle, you lose your momentum so quickly. So the boys, they'll race hard and they'll get the elbows out. Rather stay into the throttle to keep the car in the power band and use the scrub of the tyre to control the momentum as they go through the corners, racing bumper to bumper with their competitors as Kane fires to the inside. Oh, big touch-up between Kane and McLean, but they get away cleanly, somehow wrestling the karts at the top end of Hot Weld Fabrications as they come onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight once again. Hugh Maguire is just putting the hurt on Kip Foster. Half a second the difference as they came across the line last time by. We are 5 down, 15 to go in Tag 125 Light for TNN Sheet Metal. Isaac McLean having trouble at the top end of the racetrack and had something go wrong on the 33 Formula K kart. He got halfway into Hot World Fabrications and just went straight on at the top of the hill, off into the dirt and out of contention for the remainder of this one. We follow along with Liam Kane and Flynn Thompson at the moment, fighting it out on track. They're battling for 6th and 7th on track. Picking up with Hugh Maguire as he storms his way around Bunbury City Kart Club like he owns the joint. 2 seconds the lead he has over Kip Foster. And to put that on your racing resume, I gapped Kip Foster by 2 seconds in a final. Is a huge achievement for the Maguire boys this weekend. He's been in fine form in this class, leading the way in 125 light for the number 15 digital quarter machine. Been doing the same in his KA3 light entry as well. And he'll yet to come out later on for his final to try and take a win here this weekend at Bunbury City Kart Club. But we go back to Foster and Morrissey. Young Ash Morrissey's been having a solid drive weekend as well. The number 89 Sarah Kart finding himself in 3rd place, trying to put some pressure on Foster. Further back, Kieran Ellis in the KF kart from Liam Kane, rounding out your top 5 as we're into the second half of your 125 light final for TNN sheet metal. It's quite rare we see a gap this big open up in the 125 class. Usually it's processional or freight train racing. But Hugh Maguire just has something else in his favour this weekend, and absolutely stomping the field in the final so far. We go back to the battles further back in the field. We pick up, this is Flynn Thompson, Daryl Henderson, and then Hayden Fraser backed up with Luca Nietzsche at the back of that group there, the 55 Ricardo Park. As they come onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight, we're stretching things out with 7 laps to go. This done by, we follow the battle between Fraser and Nietzsche. Nietzsche just grabbing the inside pothole at the entry to the in-grid there and bouncing the 55 Ricardo kart across the track. Nietzsche and Fraser have had some good racing between them over the years gone by, and at the beginning of the year at the opening round of the Goldstar Series, they came together in the final at Coburn International Raceway that brought those two unstuck and out of contention on the day. But Nietzsche is just working hard on the wheel, wrestling the 55 Ricardo kart. It looks like an evil kart to drive right now, trying to keep it under control and putting some pressure on Hayden Fraser as they fight it out for 8th and 9th on the road in your 125 light final as we come up to the final 5 laps in just a moment. As we catch the field down the Bunbury Toyota main straight, we'll grab the fight for 2nd as Ash Morrissey hasn't given up on a chance at putting a move on Kit Foster. The wily old Fox Foster, the number 20 KF kart, the man behind the brand, bringing the fluoro orange to West Australian karting. The chassis manufacturer in the Birrellart Manufacturing House. It's good to see 3 different brands across the top 3 in the field. The OTK Tony Kart leading the way of Hugh Maguire, the Birrellart KF of Kit Foster, then the Drew Price Engineering Sarah X5 of Ash Morrissey in 3rd, followed by a pair of KF karts in 4th and 5th, and the Arrow from Drew Price Engineering of Flynn Thompson in P6. We follow the battle for 2nd here. Morrissey trying to shape up on the back of Foster as they come out of Hot World Fabrication and the run towards the Avalon Transport Peak before they sprint down the Bunbury Toyota main straight towards the Canteen Corner. 2 laps to go. Now stay corrected, 3 laps to go as they come through the centre section. Air Force air conditioning double left-handers. Foster and Morrissey still fighting it out for 2nd and 3rd. Kieran Ellis sitting back there in P4 hasn't been able to make a big impact on this gap and put in his input onto the fight. Last time across a 32.6, he's about a 1/10 of a second per lap quicker than 2nd and 3rd of Foster and Morrissey, but trying to put a margin down of 8.5 tenths of a second is a big ask in a 125 light field. That said, 4.3 seconds of Hugh Maguire out front is unimaginable in a 125 light class. But Ashley Morrissey starting to really pour the pressure under the back of Kit Foster, who's still a cool customer underneath the bright orange fluoro helmet as they come into Avalon Transport for the second and final time. The last lap board is out. Hugh Maguire starts his final tour of Bunbury City Kart Club from Foster and Morrissey. We pick up with your race leader, the number 15 digital quarter Tony Kart of Maguire, leading the way and absolutely dominating the field in the final here at Bunbury City Kart Club for the final round of the PatriciaCourse.com Goldstar Series. And Hugh Maguire has done something that very few karters have been able to do in Western Australia. Put close to 5 seconds on Kit Foster as he wins 125 light here for TNN Sheet Metal. Kit Foster runs to the line, only good enough for second today. Ashley Morrissey home in third, Kieran Ellis in fourth, and Liam Kane will round out your top 5 in Tag 125 Light, brought to you by TNN Sheet Metal. Here with Hugh Maguire on the in-grid, mate. 5 seconds on Kit Foster after 20 laps. What did you guys do to that thing this weekend?
I don't think it's anything other than just the kart itself. The Tony Kart works really well around this track. Yeah, we've been fast all throughout the weekend, even Friday. So to come away with that kind of consistency is really promising. Even into next year, we're hoping to keep that up. But the Tony Kart's been on fire all weekend at this track, so I'm really thankful for having an R with me this weekend.
Mate, go put that on your resume. I think that needs to go in the books. Congratulations, you are the winner of 125 Light. Anyone you need to thank?
Of course, my dad for all the work he puts in, but also the competitors. I mean, there's top sportsmanship this weekend but you wouldn't expect anything less from such quality drivers. So thanks very much to them, and of course the Bunbury Kart Club for putting on such a great meeting.
There you go. Hugh Maguire is your 125 Light winner as 125 Restricted Medium, a straight on track, ready to start their 20-lap final. out of the frying pan and into the fire. 125 restricted medium, brought to you by Kart Mart, servicing West Australian karting and supporting everyone going racing across the great state of WA. Since the mid-90s, Harvey has been a proud supporter of WA karting and happy to supply you with any of the carts and parts that you require, including racewear, specialty tools, all the way to complete racing packages. You want anything, head on down to Welshpool and go see Harvey and Megan at Kart Mart, and they'll be happy to help you out. As we've picked up, we are 1 lap complete in 125 restricted medium. Nathan King has been leading the way all weekend long. Todd Davey in the number 3 comp cart for Weet-Bix finds himself into second. Benjamin Bonden into the 3rd spot. Jamie George into P4 from Christopher Strawn and Lee Bujos, it looks like, in P5. As they bring it down the line, we'll pick up your full running order after 2 laps of racing. As Bujos trying to find a way around Christopher Strawn down at the canteen corner. The number 11 entry, the OTK chassis with Rotax power. It's King, Davey, Bonden, George and Strawn, your top 5. Bujos in the 6th spot. We follow along with that battle at the moment. Christopher Strawn defending from Lee Bujos. And Lee is one of those kind of people who, as racing drivers, we find really frustrating. And the kind of person that can throw his leg over a go-kart, into a race car, onto a solo bike, onto a road racing motorcycle, even into some off-road racing equipment and some dirt oval stuff, and he's fast. That kind of person that a lot of racing drivers don't really like too well when you put him in your go-kart to go and have a steer. They end up being faster than you, and Bujos has proven to be that kind of person for many years. As he makes a return to karting and now right up into putting the pressure on Christopher Strawn, gets the job done. And Bujos moves himself up inside the top 5 in 125 restricted medium for their 20-lap final. Further ahead, there's dust flying through the air as drivers continue to drop a wheel here and there, and all the dust around Bunbury City Kart Club, proudly donated by Hanson Quarry, putting down 16 tons of dust around the track edges in preparation for the final round of the Goldstar Series. So a big thank you to Hanson Quarry, donating some of the materials to make Bunbury City Kart Club the beautiful centre and hub for racing that it is in the great southern region of Western Australia. As we're approaching the quarter race distance mark, we follow the 27 and the 77 on track. That's of Jade Williams and Ryan Lee, currently fighting it out for 8th and 9th on the road, as your leaders are opening up some quite large margins. The tightest margin inside the top 10 is 0.4 of a second between Bujos and Strawn. And Nathan King has been the class of the field all weekend long here in 125 restricted medium, putting the hurt on Todd Davey back there in 2nd. Benjamin Bonden in P3 as we go 5 down, 15 to go. Last time across the line for 125 restricted medium, brought to you by Kart Mart. Continuing on as we approach the halfway point, Lee Bujos starting to make inroads on the back of Jamie George. I caught up with Jamie this morning at a servo on the way to the track, ready to rock and roll for the finals as he rocks the number 8 Sarah chassis for J&S Concrete, the X5 platform for Jamie, proving its worth at the moment as he sits P4, but young good old Lee Bujos trying to chase him down, and it's X30V Rotax once again. The restrictor classes, something about these Rotax engines and a little bit of extra horsepower that makes them the pick of the bunch. But out front, it's Nathan King leading the way with the Rotax. Todd Davey in second. Benjamin Bonden in second with the X30 power. Todd Davey in third with X30. And Jamie George in P4 with the AME X30 package. The next Rotax back is Lee Bujos trying to put the pressure on at the moment. The number 11 OTK kart closing up onto the back as we're into the second half of your 125 restricted medium final, brought to you by Kart Mart as they come across the top end of the racetrack into Avalon Transport Peak onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight. We grab Bonden, Davey, George and Bujos, further behind Christopher Strawn in P6 as we head into the flat-out kart sweeper. Lee Bujos continuing to try and close the gap and put the pressure on in the final stages of your 125 restricted medium final. Six laps to go, last time across the line for your race leaders. We continue following this battle. Jamie George and Lee Bujos getting closer together, but they're starting to drive up onto the back of Todd Davey and Benjamin Bonden. Your second, third, fourth and fifth battle are starting to get closer together, but we're starting to run out of laps in your 125 restricted medium final. Coming down to the final quarter of the race will be that final 5 laps will make the big difference, whether we can get Bonden, Davey, Bujos and George all bunched up. Nathan King well and truly out front, the number 37 machine coming into frame and stretching out the gap 3.6 seconds over the rest of the field at the moment. Absolutely dominating the class for West Oz Custom Trucks with the Rotax powered KF kart. King is in a field of his own here in 125 restricted medium with 5 laps to go last time across the line. Look at the gap and daylight he's put between himself and Benjamin Bonden in second. Then back to Davey, George and Bujos coming out of Avalon Transport onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight. With 4 laps left to go. Oh! Wow, big incident there between George and Davey at the flat-out kart sweeper. Brings them both unstuck and in the dirt. In the closing stages of the race, they were starting to bunch up And we caught the back end of Jamie George making a move that caught the side of Todd Davey. As Nathan King comes down the line and makes it 2 laps to go. As your race leader, we pick up with Josh Hunt at the moment, the number 17 Esprit Kart, currently running 11th on track. And not far off, going a lap down to Nathan King as we pick him up into the Air Force Air Conditioning Southwest double left-handers. King leading from Bondon and Bujos. Bujos sneaking through to third after, or just before that incident with Jamie George and Todd Davey. Brought him up into the podium. Christopher Strong will go to P4. Jamie George is the fastest on track with a hot lap of the race of 34.7, but a moment ago, losing out in that incident with Todd Davey, lost 10 seconds as we start the final lap for Nathan King, dominating the field to a 3.5-second advantage over Benjamin Bondon back there in second. And King starts his final tour of Bunbury City Kart Club's Chris Walk Raceway. And heading up into the top end of the racetrack. Into Hot World Fabrications for the final time. Nathan King has had a relatively quiet weekend, unchallenged and unscathed all weekend long here at the final round of the Patricia Course Goldstar Series. Nathan King makes a clean sweep of the weekend to win 125 restricted medium here at Bunbury City Kart Club. Benjamin Bondon will come home for second. Lee Bujos will race him to the line for third. Christopher Strawn coming home for P4. And Jamie George will come home P5 to round out your top 5 in 125 restricted medium, brought to you by Kartmart. Here with Nathan King on the in-grid, winner of 125 restricted medium. Mate, you've been dominating the field all weekend. What's the secret to the success around Bunbury?
I'm not sure. I just love the track, mate, eh?
It's a very fun track. What's your favourite part? It's part of the banking and just that sliding grip that you feel around here?
Probably middle of the section, left-handers, and then a Greco. That's unreal.
Anyone you need to thank for the support to get you to the podium this weekend?
Yeah, definitely my family. They come down and supported me. Got to thank Brad Stewart. He helped me out. It's his kart, so it's all good.
There you go. Congratulations. Nathan King is your 125 restricted medium winner with the West Oz Custom Trucks KF kart. We're straight into it, and it's KA3 Junior out on track for their 20-lap final. Straight back into it with KA3 Junior, brought to you by OJG Engineering. And it's been all about Caleb Sumich and Thomas Lawton so far this weekend. They line up next to each other on the front row of the grid from Robert West and Luke Sawyer on the second row. Noah Lyle and Joshua Byrne on row 3. We've got someone at the back of the group with a hand up in the air. And we are being given a chevron flag. So will be no start this time by. No start. And the chevron will get everyone reformed. And even I'd have to go back to my Karting Australia manual to figure out the chevron full meeting. But it will bring our field rolling around and not taking a start just yet. We'll continue through your starting grid. Tyson Sadler will start alongside Aiden Deckers, a pair of KF karts just trying to get out there and confuse me. And Jeff assures me Tyson is the one with the white helmet. James McCucci Allen will start alongside Sebastian Guest in 9th and 10th on row 5. Then Jack Caiullo and Dylan Guest on row 6. Gabriel Belanca and Riley Wastel on row 7, with Ethan Flynn at the back of the pack there on grid number 15. A lone wolf on his own in the back row as we get the field rolling around once again. And KA3 Junior, one of the fastest steps in the junior ranks as the drivers come out of cadets, step into KA4s, take the restrictor plates out and go racing on a on a Bridgestone DFM tyre. The same tyre which they are using in KA2 this weekend, with a lot more horsepower and about a 1.2 second per lap speed differential between KA3 and KA2. As the field rolls around onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Lights are out. We are racing. 20 laps on the board for KA3 Junior. Brought to you by OJG Engineering. And Sumich muscles his way through. Lawton dives to the inside to defend any challenge from behind. And Sumich leading as we got Byrne going very wide on the exit of the flat-out kart sweeper as drivers try and jostle for position. On the opening lap, it's Sumich and Lawton on the opening lap here from West. Sawyer. And then it looks like we pick up, can't even tell you who it is, in P5, battling it out as they come out of Hot Weld Fabrications. Looks like it might be Noah Lyle fighting it out there. The number 4 flat-out karts and a Rise Arrow X5 as they come onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight. We'll catch him across the start-finish. Sumich leading from Thomas Lawton in second. Robert West in third. Luke Sawyer in P4. And it is Noah Lyle in P5. From Sadler, Deckers, Byrne, McCucci Allen and Guest, your top 10. We go to Caleb Sumich. The number 14, Eco Resources Cosmic Kart. Has been a class of his own so far this weekend. Him and Thomas Lawton have been very quick, but they've not been building too much of a buffer. Robert West has been right there all weekend long. The same with Luke Sawyer and Noah Lyle as well. As Lawton gets a head down, trying to get the aero advantage down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Someone's all the way off in the dirt going down the main straight. Making a run for the timing tower a moment ago as the drivers pour their way into Air Force air conditioning. And Robert West putting some pressure on the back of Thomas Lawton, trying to close up the gap. The number 3 OTKWA TuneTech Auto Service Centre Tony Kart, the West Australian champ, crowned a few weeks ago up at Midwest Kart Club. Up on the hill and a fabulous weekend we had up in Geraldton for the 2020 WA Kart Championship. It's KA3 Junior. Sumich building a buffer already, opening up that gap over Lawton and West. And Sawyer and Lyle is your top 5 as they start to settle down a little bit through the Air Force air conditioning corners. It's a long race yet to go. 17 laps left on the board last time across the line for KA3 Junior, brought to you by OJG Engineering. Working our way through the proceedings for KA3 Junior. And Caleb Sumich is absolutely checking out from the field, but they're all stacking up behind Robert West. With Sumich gone, Lyle assumes second, and Lawton is getting shuffled back through the field somewhat brutally as well. They're beating up on the poor kid in the TuneTech Auto Service Centre, number 3, Tony Cart. But it's a scrim further back. Noah Lyle holds second, Robert West in third. A bit of a gap further back to Luke Sawyer, now in P4. Aiden Decker's in P5, Sebastian Guest in the 6. Thomas Lawton dropped down to P7 from Joshua Byrne in the 8, who has a little look up the inside, but Button's back out of it here. At the back of that group is James McCucci-Allen. Fresh out of his run to the finish in KA4 Junior Light a couple of races ago with Noah Lyle that ended up through the dirt at the finish. McCucci-Allen happy to take the win in the KA4 Junior Heavy category to start off the finals day here at the final round of the PatriciaCourse.com Goldstar Series here at Bunbury City Kart Club. We were halfway home last time across as this battle pack makes their way out of Hot World Fabrications and up into the Avalon Transport Peak before they make a run down the Bunbury Toyota Main Straight. KA3 Junior brought to you by OJG Engineering, your MSCL piping specialists. Anything you need, give them a call. We're happy to help you out, and they're proud supporters of WA Karting, which is awesome to see. So many companies coming on and staying on at all the various open meetings, chipping in a little bit here and there to make these events happen and support the cause, to build the profile and elevate the level of West Australian karting to new heights like we've not seen before. As we bring you all the action here from Bunbury City Kart Club, broadcasting live online thanks to 4Style Media. We follow along Joshua Byrne, putting some pressure on Thomas Lawton now. Drops Lawton another spot into the Air Force air conditioning double left-handers. So Lawton is really falling back through the field. Must be nursing some sort of mechanical issue as Guesty finds his way up the inside of Sawyer and makes a move happen with just over 7 laps to go. Sawyer fires another one up the inside. That's going to drop Guesty through the dirt on the Bunbury Toyota Main Straight, and he's rallying his car across onto the track, trying to get it back on the black stuff. So that puts Guest out of contention in that group, as now Deckers helps Sawyer out of the way at the flat-out kart sweeper. Young Luke fires it back to the inside. This is the fight for 4th and 5th. Robert West is well and truly clear of these two further up the road in 3rd. As we follow 4th and 5th, Sawyer and Deckers, then Lawton, Byrne, Guest and McCucci-Allen in the back of that battle pack. This is the fight through the mid-pack as Caleb Sumich is well and truly out front from Noah Lyle. 6 laps to go this time across the line. Sumich with a 4.1 second advantage over Lyle in 2nd. And Robert West, the number 9 KF kart, back there in 3rd at the moment. He's lapping marginally faster than Noah Lyle, but the gap sits at 8.2 tenths of a second between them. So nothing in it at the pointy end. We can't even see Caleb Sumich in the number 14 Eco Resources Cosmic Kart. Absolutely clearing house as we catch the massive gap further back to 4th and 5th of Sawyer and Deckers. Still fighting it out as they come past Canteen Corner with 5 laps left to go. Just over 3 laps left to run for your leader, Caleb Sumich. Absolutely G-O-R-N, gone from the field here in KA3 Junior. We continue following the battle pack because it's just wild racing for the remaining places in the class. Sawyer and now Lawton fighting over it as Deckers has dropped off a little bit. Guesty getting wild coming out of Air Force air conditioning, breaking them up into a couple of different battle packs. It's Sawyer and Lawton fighting over fourth and fifth. We go further back. Deckers and Byrne for 6th and 7th. Sebastian Guest and James McCucci-Allen were fighting out of it. Now McCucci-Allen consolidates a spot as Guesty drops off the back of him. With 2 laps to go. Last time across the line, Caleb Sumich 4.5 seconds clear of Noah Lyle back there in second with a new hot lap of the race. A 33.49 for Caleb Sumich. And your leader there, Caleb Sumich, down the Bunbury Toyota main straight to start his final lap of Bunbury City Kart Club. We grab Noah Lyle in second as he comes past Canteen Corner. Plenty of pace on board the number 4 Arise Racing and Flat Out Karts entry. But not enough to capitalise on this young man. Caleb Sumich in a league of his own this weekend. When it comes to the final, at least the 20-lapper going to fall the way in a monstrous runaway win. Down the line, put your hands together, folks. Caleb Sumich wins KA3 Junior, brought to you by OJG Engineering. With daylight, back to Noah Lyle in second. Robert West will race to the line to be on the podium today in third, with Luke Sawyer in P4 and Thomas Lawton rounding out your top 5. Caleb Sumich, a dominant performance here in the final of KA3 Junior. What's making your kart so fast out there?
Not much. It's just the usual. Got a good start in the start and then pulled away because all the boys behind me were fighting, so got a good lead and just maintain it for the whole race.
What's your favourite part of Bunbury City Kart Club? It's a track that's a favourite for a lot of us here in WA. Do you have a favourite section out there?
Yeah, the double rights is pretty good because you come around the first fast right, and you're straight onto the brakes for the next one. It's quite good.
It's awesome fun. Congratulations, mate. We'll let you get back and get sorted out for KA2. Congratulations. Caleb Sumich is your KA3 Junior winner here at Bunbury City Kart Club, and we're on track with 125 Restricted Masters for their 20-lap final. Tag 125 Restricted Masters getting ready for 20 laps on the board as the lights go out and send us racing. Brought to you by Gasset Pipe Contracting, and it's Bradley Stewart from the pole spot, but he gets pipped at the post by Shane Ratcliffe off the start. Bradley has had bulk speed yesterday in the heat races. We'll see if he can repeat that fine form here in the 20 lapper as he drives right up onto the back of Ratcliffe in the middle of the racetrack through the Air Force air conditioning corners and up the hill towards Hot Weld Fabrications. Shane Ratcliffe leads the way. Bradley Stewart into second. Anthony Higgs into third here. Johnny Ray in the number 2 Cosmic Kart into P4 as they head up towards the Avalon Transport peak before they come down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Stewart dropping a wheel on the opening lap is not going to help his chances. That's where he's going to get monstered by the field, but he defends valiantly and holds on to second. We'll follow Ratcliffe and Stewart trying to break away from the field, sporting the Rotax power. The first of the X30s behind them is Stewart up the inside of Ratcliffe at the right-hander. It's a gutsy move to get it done at the right-hander up the hill, but Stewart makes it stick. Number 15, Birillart Chassis getting it done as he comes down the line on the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Dropped the wheel and getting monstered by the field a lap ago. This time he finds himself as the leader of the pack past the Canteen corner for the third tour of the circuit. They come out of the flat-out kart sweeper behind him. Ratcliffe and Higgs and Johnny Ray and Roy Tester rounding out your top 5. Peter Tenbrooker from Brucey Skyring, John Hill and Ian Shaw is your full running order for 125 Restricted Masters in that 20-lap final, brought to you by Gasset Pipe Contracting. Approaching the halfway point here for tag 125 Restricted Masters, and what looked like it might have been a little bit processional. Bradley Stewart has fallen back into the clutches of Shane Ratcliffe to put some pressure on for the race lead. And Johnny Ray back there in the number 2 Cosmic Kart. It's the fastest on track with a new hot lap of the race a little while ago, 34.522. He backs it up with a 5.99 to still go quicker on the previous lap a moment ago than both your lead pair. And in the space of a lap, Stewart manages to open up the taps and capitalise on a little bobble from Shane Ratcliffe and pull out a couple of kart lengths once again. It's back and forth in the gaps at the front as we hit the halfway point for 125 Restricted Masters, brought to you by Gasset Pipe Contracting. 10 down, 10 to go in their 20-lap final here at Bunbury City Kart Club. With 5 laps left to go here in 125 Restricted Masters, Bradley Stewart has decided he's not going to wait around for anything to happen behind him. He's bolting from the field, and he's opened himself up over a 1.2 second advantage. Back to Shane Ratcliffe in second. Johnny Ray further back in third, still leading just ahead of Anthony Higgs and Roy Tester in fourth and fifth. Further back on the road by about 3.5 seconds, Peter Ten Brooker and Brucey Skyring, along with Ian Shaw, still holding on to the track with John Hill out of contention in the final. And we didn't see Nathan Will take to the track for their 20-lap feature. As we follow along, Ratcliffe and Ray, second and third, from Higgsy and Roy Tester down the Bunbury Toyota main straight in a rather processional affair in the back end of this final for Bunbury City Kart Club. In the final round of the PatriziaCourse.com Goldstar Series. A big thank you to all of our sponsors, whether it be class sponsors or live streaming or supporting Bunbury City Kart Club. It's much appreciated to bring you all the action and put on a stellar weekend of racing here at the Goldstar Round, and a Huge thank you to all of the volunteers and officials who have dedicated their weekend and given up their spare time and sometimes their sanity to put on this event. It's incredibly appreciated and something that we shouldn't be taking for granted at any given time in West Australian karting. Volunteer service is the lifeblood of our sport, and we are forever thankful and in debt to those who put in the time and effort to put on these race meetings. So make sure before we go home today to thank a volunteer, thank an official for what they're doing for us to make sure we get to go racing and have fun here at Bunbury City Kart Club this weekend. As we're down to the final couple of laps, Bradley Stewart makes his final attempt at Bunbury City Kart Club, 745 metres from home for Tag 125 Restricted Masters. Brought to you by Gasset Pipe Contracting. Stewart on his final tour of the circuit from Ratcliffe in second, Johnny Ray in third, out of Air Force Air Conditioning Southwest. For the final time, Bradley Stewart on his way to another dominant display in the 20-lap feature. He's been in a class of his own this weekend and he's looking to cap it off with another W as Bradley Stewart takes it down the line to claim the win in 125 Restricted Masters. For Gasset Pipe Contracting, ahead of Shane Ratcliffe in second, Johnny Ray home in third, Anthony Higgs in fourth, and Roy Tester rounding out your top five. With Bradley Stewart, winner of 125 Restricted Masters here at Bunbury City Kart Club, mate. It's a hard yakka run to do just 10 laps around here. How do you feel after 20?
I'm knackered, mate. Yeah, that's the most tired I've ever been in a kart, eh?
Looked like you had plenty of pace, but a bit of a drop-off in the middle part of the race. Were you just feeling it at that point, thinking, oh, maybe you couldn't push on, or were you just conserving rubber?
Yeah, conserving rubber because it started feeling a little bit gooey, and then I just backed off a little bit, and then I just pushed at the end, so it went really well.
Congratulations. Who do you have to thank for the weekend?
ARC Engines, Adam Cornick, the girlfriend Dee, and BTQ Racing, and Kartmart.
There you go, congratulations. Bradley Stewart is your winner for 125 Restricted Masters. Over 20 laps here at Bunbury City Kart Club. Good on ya. Cadet 12's out on track for another thriller of 20 laps about to start. Getting ready to go with Cadet 12. Brought to you by Bunbury Kartworks. 20 laps on the board and no rest for the wicked. Nash Ferraro leads things out from the pole spot. Sachin Smith Way looks up the inside early on the opening lap. Gets it done. Sachin Smith-Wayne, the 28. Arrow Machine goes to the inside, but Ferraro fights back. Unbelievable. Fantastic opening lap. Nicholas Starty getting in there as well. Connor Radford up the inside on Starty to third. 2 lead changes in half a lap on the opening lap of a final. Cadet 12 are out to put on a show here at Bunbury City Kart Club. Brought to you by Bunbury Kart Works, proud supporters of West Australian karting and supporting the younger generation of our karting fraternity. And it's Nash Ferraro who leads at the end of lap 1, but he didn't have it all his way on this opening lap. He leads out. We go back to a bit of a battle here. Cooper Lyle and Chase Wildman fires it up the inside at the flat-out kart sweeper as they head into Air Force air conditioning once again. And that's a move in the fight for 6th and 7th, would you believe? How close it is through the midfield of our Cadet 12 field already. But out front, it's Ferraro leading Smith-Way from Starty. Then Radford and Maiolo trying to break away from the rest of the field. That's your top 5 as they come out of the Avalon Transport Peak onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight. 2 down, 18 to go here in Cadet 12. And this is the fire that forges phenomenal racing talent and lifelong memories made by these young kids. They don't even think about it now, but in 10 years' time, whether they're still racing or not, they will have lifelong memories, and some lifelong friendships are built in these racing categories. And weekends like this, when they come out racing with their family and friends, Ferraro, Smithway and Starty now breaking away from the rest of the field. Radford just a little bit further back there in the 4 spot from young Toby Maiolo on the 23 Energy Course chassis. It's great to see a different mix of karts at the pointy end of the field. The OTK from Pinjarra Bakery, the number 16 of young Ferraro, the West Australian champ, leading out from the Arrow chassis of Sachin Smith-Way, the number 28 flat-out karts entry, and the Energy Course kart, the 15 of Nicholas Starty in the 3rd spot. Further back to Connor Radford, another one of the Arrow karts, and another Energy Course kart, rounding out your top 5 of young Toby Maiolo, who has the fast lap of the race right now. Maiolo to a 37.83, putting on the hurt and trying to close the gap to the pointy end of the field because he wants to get involved in that fight early now and stay stuck into him as they head on down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Somebody's going to get a move on here because Ferraro is clearing out early. He's not here to wait around as Starty continues to pour the pressure onto the back of Sachin Smith-Way. Radford and Maiolo are dropped off just a little bit off the back of that group, but young Ferraro puts in a new hot lap of the race, that time by 37.7, and opens up the gap out front 8.5 tenths of a second as Radford drops a wheel up the hill. We follow the battle. At the same time, Sachin Smith-Way was looking well over his shoulder and was looking like he was about to drive it clear off the racetrack while he checks on the progress of Nick Starty, who's pushing him down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Bumper to bumper, glued together. 5 down, 15 to go. We follow the battle for second. Sachin Smith-Way and Nick Starty into the flat-out kart sweeper. Racing forward as Ferraro backs up his hot lap with another one, a 37.705. He's opened up 1.1 seconds over the rest of the field. And a big slide from Maiolo, trying to gather up the number 23 Energy Course kart as he's coming under pressure from Chase Wildman, who's bought his way onto the back of this battle for the top 5, the 77 Sabre Real Estate Tony Kart, currently in P6 on track. It looks like Wildman's copped a bit of a serve on the opening laps as well. That rear bumper bar dropping down a little bit, but not dragging. So he is still safe for young Chase and the Sabre Real Estate 77 machine. We follow along the battle here. Maiolo and Radford fighting it out for 4th and 5th. As they come out of Air Force air conditioning. Trying to find the pace to drive further up in the field and put the pressure on. They might have a long run set up on. We'll see what they can do in the back half of this long and grueling 20-lapper. The kids will be knackered after this, but a banana and a Powerade and they'll be good to go again, I'm sure. As Radford and Maiolo getting a bit of bump and grind going on. Out of Avalon Transport down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. Now Sachin Smith-Way. A long run setup must be on his kart because he's just reset the hot lap of the races. Chase Wildman throws a speculator up the inside of Toby Maiolo. Elevates himself up there and picks up a spot. Puts Maiolo down outside the top 5 now. Young Chase moving his way through. And Sachin Smith-Way with a new fastest lap of the race a moment ago brings the gap for the lead down to 9.7 tenths of a second. Could have been a hot setup on board Nash Ferraro that might, it's good at the start, but it might be horrific at the end here. We'll see what it plays out to be. With 12 laps left to go, we approach the halfway point in Cadet 12, brought to you by Bunbury Kartworks. Coming up to the halfway point of our 20-lap feature, and just keeping an eye on the gaps out front. It's 8.8 tenths of a second between Ferraro and Smith Way, as Nick Starty now starting to set some hot laps. He resets the fastest lap of the race at 37.508. But we followed the battle between Connor Radford, Chase Wildman and Toby Maiolo for 4th, 5th and 6th on the road, and Wildman up the inside of Radford at the Avalon Transport Peak. Now Maiolo drives on past as Radford bogged it down on the exit. Radford missing out and dropping down outside the top 5 now as young Chase Wildman drives his way forward. Already opening up a couple of kart lengths over Maiolo. As we pull back to pick up Sachin Smith Way and Nicholas Starty, 2nd and 3rd. Sachin looks over his shoulder to check on young Nick. Back there in the 3 spot, trying to close the gap. Last time by Starty with a 37.73. Smith Way with a 37.77. He brings the gap down a little bit. A drop of the wheel there from Sachin Smith Way, and Starty putting the pressure on down the straight. They're going to go side by side through Canteen Corner. Smith Way runs it through the rumble strip and a touch of the dust, and now Nick Starty goes up to 2nd with a much wider go-kart on the number 15 Energy Quartz chassis. Nicholas Starty moving himself up a spot here. Sachin Smith Way back to the 3rd spot now. As a battle for 4th, 5th and 6th still going on. Chase Wildman and Toby Maiolo getting into it now. The 77 Sabre Real Estate leading from the 23 Energy Course kart as Connor Radford has dropped off the back of that battle pack in P6 for the youngster, making a step into Cadet 12s for the 2020 season. As we are 9 laps to go, we follow along with Wildman and Maiolo through the flat-out kart sweeper, using the banking to get the kart speed right up high through the corner. It's a fantastic corner that we have in West Australian karting. An accommodation here at Bunbury City Kart Club that's a crowd favourite among many in the West Australian karting fraternity. And a big late move from Maiolo. Fires to the inside of Wildman. He's on the inside again as Wildman tries to fight back. That could bog them down, and he's fighting with Radford. Oh, Radford dropping it off on the final corner, and I don't think Wildman saw him there, and Connor really dropped off and had to jump on the anchors to pull it back. I think he still rejoined in P6, but he lost a lot of time off the back of that battle. Connor Radford still holding on to P6 from Benjamin Hall in 7, Cooper Lyle in 8, Orlando Piavitas in 9, and Lachlan Clee running out your top 10 from Jordan Clee, Cody Colmer, Ryan Warner, Noah Byrne, and Aidan Tempany. We have lost Riley Curry out there on track somewhere, unfortunately for the youngster in the 31 Ricardo kart, as we pick up your race leaders down the Bunbury Toyota main straight, and a big switch around. Something went wrong there for Toby Maiolo. A big cloud of dust, and he rejoined to the far inside of the Bunbury Toyota main straight. And he gave away the spot to Chase Wildman into P4 by some margin now. But it's Nash Ferraro leading the way, dominating the field by 1.5 seconds so far, with just over 5 laps left to go for your Cadet 12 final. Nicholas Starty trying to maintain his pace and close the gap. But at the moment, it's all falling the way of the youngster from Waroona. As Wildman fires one up the inside of Maiolo. Connor Radford has brought his way back into this fight again, and they've dragged Benjamin Hall into it now as well. As they head into the F-Force Air Conditioning Southwest double left-handers. And coming back out, it's Wildman, Maiolo, Radford, Benjamin Hall, and Cooper Lyle for 5th through to 8th inclusive in their fight with just over 4 laps left to go, fighting over the last spot inside the top 5. As they make the run towards the Avalon Transport Peak, these youngsters in Cadet 12 know how to put on a show. 4 laps to go for your race leaders as Saturn Smith Way starts to go fast right at the end of the run. He puts in a new hot lap. He's 2.4 seconds off the race lead and 7/10 of a second off the back of Nick Stardy in second. Smith Way, the fastest on track in the closing stages of your Cadet 12 final. It's still going on in the fight for 5th. Connor Radford fires one up the inside of Toby Mayolo to pick him off. Wildman still holds on to P5, but Radford goes for Wildman as well. Says 2 for 1 deal. Thanks for coming. It's a blue light special for young Connor Radford as he moves himself up inside into 5th now, or even 4th. Putting Wildman now under pressure from Mayolo for 5th. This fight is fantastic as the battles out front have petered out. Your top 3 have spread themselves around the circuit. It's Radford from Mayolo and Wildman for 4th, 5th and 6th on the road. Benjamin Hall in 7. And Cooper Lyle at the back of that group in P8 as they head up into Hot Weld Fabrications. Across the top end of the racetrack towards Avalon Transport Peak. Mayolo isn't done with Radford just yet as your leaders sneak on down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. This freight train of carts joins the main straight as we pick up your race leader, Nash Ferraro. With 2 to go last time across the line, he has a 1.3 second advantage over Nicholas Stardy, who's continuing to go fast. There's a 37.3 from Stardy. There's a 37.6 from Ferraro. 0.3 of a second he lost on that lap alone. It's a 1.3 second deficit. Ferraro making his way into local news around the Harvey local newspapers and online as well for his phenomenal drive in the closing laps of the West Australian Kart Championship that brought him home the blue plate back-to-back in Cadet 12 as he starts his final lap in the number 16 Pinjarra Bakery OTK kart into Air Force air conditioning for the final time. 1.3 seconds a gap back to Stardy in second. Young Nash in control of the speed and the rest of the class here in Cadet 12, brought to you by Bunbury Kart Works as he takes it out of Hot Weld Fabrication for the final time. Leading out from Stardy and Satchin Smith Way, these 3 putting themselves on the podium on a regular basis across West Australian karting, but the checkered flag will fly. Nash Ferraro wins Cadet 12 here at Bunbury City Kart Club in the Pinjarra Bakery number 16 OTK kart. Nicholas Stardy home in second in the number 15 Energy Course kart, and Satchin Smith Way brings the number 28 Flat Out Karts and S. Sam Dicker Motorsports Arrow Machine home for 3rd. Chase Wildman puts the 77 Sabre Real Estate Tony Kart on 4th, and Toby Mayolo will round out your top 5 in a great battle with Connor Radford, Benjamin Hall, Cooper Lyle, Orlando Piavitas and Lachlan Klee rounding out your top 10. The Cadet 12 brought to you by Bunbury Kart Works. Nash Ferraro down here on the in-grid. Another dominant display from you. How much do you love Bunbury City Kart Club, mate?
It's been my club since the beginning, and it's pretty good to come back and win.
So talk through that opening lap there. Sachin really wanted to get past you in the opening stages. Does it make you worried on that opening lap when you're fighting for position like that?
Yeah, it kind of does, because I don't know if I was going to be slow at the first few laps or if he was going to be fast, so I had to go for it.
Another dominant win from you, mate. You have anyone you want to thank for all the support?
Yeah, definitely my sponsors and my family.
Congratulations. Nash Ferraro wins Cadet 12 here at Bunbury City Kart Club. We'll let him get on going as we got some more juniors. It's KA3 Senior Light out on track for their 20-lap final. Straight on into it, KA3 Senior Light. Brought to you by TNN Sheet Metal for their 20-lap feature. And can anyone stop the charge of Hugh Maguire? Well, it looks like they're trying on these opening laps, as it's a Sarah Kart out front on this first flying lap of their 20-lap feature. Maguire into second place as we pick him up across the top end of the track. And we're going almost 3 wide into the Avalon Transport Peak on the opening lap, and it's a drag race down the Bunbury Toyota Main Straight. But it's Jake Sawyer leading the way on lap 1. Hugh Maguire into second. Bevan Stone up into third. What a great start from Bevan. Ryan Nicholson into the 4th spot. Judd Stevens in P5. But your leaders already breaking away, Sawyer and Maguire. And Sawyer has been one of the young men to be at the pointy end of this field for a couple of years now in KA3 Senior Light. We'll see if he can put the 96 J&A Engineering and Transcoat Sarah Kart on the top step here today at Bunbury City Kart Club, as we're heading into the mid-morning and just a couple of races left to go to wrap up proceedings for the final round of the patriciacourse.com Goldstar Series. It's Sawyer leading Maguire straight off the back of a dominant win in 125 Light with the number 15 digital recorder, Tony Kart. He comes on back out to try and cap off a double in an attempt that's not easy to complete here at Bunbury City Kart Club. Usually throws a spanner in the works at some point, and I think the spanner comes in the form of Jake Sawyer in the 20-lap final. Down the Bunbury Toyota Main Straight. 3 complete, 17 to go. And it's going to be this pair out front fighting it out for the top step of the podium in KA3 Light, brought to you by TNN Sheet Metal. big moment there for Judd Stevens. Off the road through the Air Force air conditioning double left-handers, and unfortunately giving up the spot that he held on track as we pick up and continue on. Bevan Stone holding on to the 5th spot here. We'll go to P4, I think, and Michael Jones will take over P5 as Judd Stevens drops out of the top 5, and it's the 62 of Mason Fraser at the moment, having a bit of a discussion with Lucas Gaelic about their final finishing positions as we are 8 laps from home last time across the line. Fraser and Gaelic going at it as they come out of the Air Force air conditioning double left-handers up the hill into Hot Weld Fabrications. Out front, Hugh Maguire, 1.2 seconds clear of Jake Sawyer into second. Gapping out from him now as they continue on through the closing stages of your KA3 Light Final, brought to you by TNN Sheet Metal. The pick up with Maguire out of Air Force air conditioning double left-handers. Stretching the gap after Sawyer made an early jump to the lead. But Maguire is on his way to making a double this weekend at the Bunbury City Kart Club for the number 15 digital quarter Tony Kart. They've found something special on their chassis this weekend in both 125 Light and KE3 Light, and soldiering on from young Jake Sawyer in the 96 J&A Engineering and Transcoat entry. From Ryan Nicholson back there in the 3rd spot, Bevan Stone in 4, Michael Jonesy Jones rounding out your top 5, from Liam Kane, Mason Fraser, Lucas Gaelic, Darcy Benitez and Trent Mann rounding out your top 10. As we come up to 5 laps left to go for Hugh Maguire down the Bunbury Toyota Main Straight. With 2 to go last time across the line, we pick up with Ryan Nicholson currently running 3rd, the 75 KF kart, as Hugh Maguire comes down the line to start his final lap here in KA3 Senior Light. Number 15 digital quarter Tony Kart storming away from Jake Sawyer with 2.4 seconds of an advantage around Bunbury City Kart Club. Maguire on his way to another dominant performance in his double entries for the weekend after a monster win in 125 Light earlier this morning here at Bunbury. But across the top end of the track for the final time, the digital quarter 15 Tony Kart of Hugh Maguire makes it happen twice in one day. Maguire wins KA3 Senior Light, brought to you by TNN Sheet Metal. Jake Sawyer home in 2nd, Ryan Nicholson on the podium in 3rd. Bevan Stone will come home for P4, and Michael Jonesy Jones will make it and round out your top 5. Maguire. Another dominant performance this weekend, mate. This time in KA3 Light. You got to tell me the secret. Surely it's just a number of laps you're turning or just being able to rag the kart around the track.
We did come down for some practice in the past 2 weeks, and I think that's really improved. I'd say this is a really strong driver track, so if you have a good driver, I think your bets on doing well are pretty good. So I'm just glad that the Tony Kart's won another one quite dominantly, and I'm glad I can wear the state plate proud.
Not to harp on about previous results, but coming off the back of a pretty dismal weekend a couple of weeks ago at the City of Perth titles at Coburn International Raceway, how does this change your confidence heading into the back end of this season and kicking off next year?
It's just really refreshing to see that, you can have disappointing performances, but I think it just lets you come back stronger for the next time. So next season we're looking to do the same. We're looking to keep, pushing for dominant performances and have a good time.
Once again, a shout out for your sponsors and support.
I'd like to thank Digital Quarter for their help, my dad, of course, for all of his support, and Tony Kart Australia for all their support over East.
Congratulations. Hugh Maguire wins KA3 Senior Light as we're straight into KA2 Junior, about to start their 20-lap feature.
Thanks, guys.
On track now at KA2 Junior, brought to you by Vulcan Panel and Paint. And Sam Rhodes proudly supporting the class and helping out West Australian karting. And it's great to see this class come to us here at Bunbury City Kart Club. I hope we get to see more of it in coming events. As the lights go out and send us racing, we pack a Vortex DVS engine onto the same size of go-karts for the juniors. An A-grade license mandatory to run the class with just under 40 horsepower. Pack and a punch through the Bridgestone DFM tyres. The boys getting away here. Caleb Sumich stretching things out on the opening lap, trying to break away from the field. Down the line, Sumich opening up a gap over Joshua Byrne. Already here in your KA2. Alex Stefanovic back there in the third spot. Noah Lyle putting a move up the inside of Stefanovic here in the fight for third. The 22 OJG Engineering Sarah Kart trying to fight her way up the inside. As they pack a lot of horsepower and it's very easy to buzz the tyres off the corner. They're fighting it out and come down the Bunbury Toyota main straight. It's going to be a long race here for KA2 Junior with just 6 karts on the track, but it's great to see a new class starting to bud and develop here in Western Australia, and it'll be fantastic to see more of this coming at you with West Australia's best junior drivers packing the big power and putting on the big boy karts and going out and having fun and learning to develop their racecraft with a lot more horsepower underneath them. Currently it's Sumich leading the way from Byrne in second, Lyle in third, Stefanovic in fourth, and Rhodes and Deckers fifth and sixth on track in KA2 Junior, brought to you by Vulcan Panel and Paint. Working our way across the halfway point here for KA2 Junior, brought to you by Vulcan Panel and Paint. The action's still coming at you. These guys just don't want to give it up. It's Caleb Sumich leading the way, Noah Lyle in second, and Joshua Byrne was in third. Now he sits behind and at the back of the pack. There's Lyle underneath the tower there. Third place now goes to Bree Rhodes, I think. Aiden Deckers in fourth, Alex Stefanovic in P5, and Joshua Byrne just as quickly gets shafted from third to sixth in the space of one lap. The KA2 Junior, brought to you by Vulcan Panel and Paint. The big power brings some big action. It'd be fantastic to fill a field of these karts and get the young guys and girls out there having fun in KA2. But at the moment, Caleb Sumich, the class of the field after storming through KA3 Junior earlier in the day, is looking to cap off here in KA2 ahead of Noah Lyle in second, who's just reset the fast lap of the race. But it's a 1.9 second advantage for this man, Caleb Sumich, number 14, Eco Resources Cosmic Kart, leading the way with 7.5 laps left to go. Two laps remaining here for Caleb Sumich down the line from Noah Lyle in second. 1.9 seconds the gap. Back to Aiden Deckers in the third spot from Bree Rhodes, Alex Stefanovic and Joshua Byrne. Your running order here in KA2. We pick up with Noah Lyle as he brings it out. The Air Force Air Conditioning Southwest double left-handers out in the middle of the circuit. And Dragon, the flat-out karts, and Arise Racing. Arrow X5, the number 4 machine. Onto the Bunbury Toyota main straight. 1 to go, the final lap for KA2 Junior, brought to you by Vulcan Panel and Paint. Caleb Sumich continues to stretch the legs and dominate the field from the number 14, Eco Resources Cosmic Kart. The youngster going from strength to strength in 2020, proving he's developed plenty of pace. There's a force to be reckoned with as he continues into a new season. Out of the final corner for the last time and down the Bunbury Toyota Main Straight, Sumich wins KA2 Junior from Noah Lyle down the line in second. And Aiden Deckers will run to the line for third from Bree Rhodes in fourth. Alex Stefanovic in P5 and Joshua Bird rounding out your 6-kart field. Getting on track for the final race of the weekend here as we wrap up a stellar weekend at Bunbury City Kart Club for the final round of the PatriciaCourse.com Goldstar Series. And a big thank you to all of the series sponsors and event sponsors for this weekend. And of course the volunteers and officials dedicating their time and sometimes their sanity to put on this weekend's event. It's a massive help and it's a massively thankless task that these guys and girls get involved and put on these events, and everyone who chips in as we get to go racing. KA3 Senior Medium brought to you by WA Strata Management gets underway, and Braden Bauer gets the best start of the lot. From Evan McCulloch, going to drop into second. Zach Needham goes to the third spot here as he sits back from starting on the pole. And the smaller field of your KA3 Senior Medium for WA Strata Management brings it around, and it's been battles between Bauer and Needham all weekend long so far. We'll see what they have in store for us over 20 laps. I would expect Needham, with a relatively cold setup on the kart, might get a bit monstered on these early laps, but he jumps back to second, putting McCulloch back down to the third spot. It's Braden Bauer, the number 53 Performance Kart Centre. Arrow Chassis leading the way on lap 1 of KA3 Senior Medium, brought to you by WA Strata Management. Crossing the halfway point, 10 down, 10 to go. This race at the front between Bowra and Needham. Just been simmering along quite nicely all race long here for KA3 Senior Medium, brought to you by WA Strata Management. But in the closing stages, somebody's going to have to make a move. Needham's the fastest on track with a purple against his name. Hot lap of a 34.31. Bowra to a 34.32. Nothing in them on their hot lap pace. It's actually only 0.02 of a second between them on outright lap speed, but Needham just wants to get it done here. 0.2 of a second is the gap as they come across the line and start their 11th lap, or finish off their 11th lap as they are 9 to go. Into the Air Force air conditioning southwest corner. Trying to put the pressure on. Who wants to be on the top step this afternoon here at Bunbury City Kart Club? Evan McCulloch holds on to the 3rd spot. He's 3.5 seconds further back. He's got a 0.4 of a second advantage over Marty King in the 4th spot. And another 1.5 seconds back to Matthew Wilkins in the 78 Ital Kart chassis. But it's these boys out front putting on a bit of a show as they battle it out for KA3 Senior Medium. We pick up a battle here. This is McCulloch and King fighting it out for 3rd and 4th as they come into the Air Force air conditioning double left-handers. And up into Hot World Fabrications. We're just over 7 laps left to go in your final race of the weekend for the PatriziaCourse.com Goldstar Series Final here at Bunbury City Kart Club. We started off the 2020 championship season with the Goldstar opening round at Coburn International Raceway earlier in the year. And then on the other side of the COVID shutdowns, we headed up to Geraldton for what served as the warm-up event for the WA Kart Championship up at Midwest Kart Club, racing on the newly resurfaced Geraldton track that proved to be pretty awesome with some great racing. And then we come back down to Bunbury for the final round this weekend, brought to you by PatriziaCourse.com, of course. Proud supporters of Australian and West Australian karting. Michael Patrizzi helping bring the Birrell Art manufacturing brands into Australia, including KF Kart, Ricardo Kart, Birrell, Charles Leclerc. And the Freeline range with the Vortex engines supporting Australian karting. You want anything with Birrell or Vortex, go talk to Michael Patrizzi. Oh, Braden Bowra just runs himself straight off the track at the top of the hill. What on earth was that? Braden Bowra off the track at the Hot World Fabrications corner, and did he run out of brakes? Whatever happened there for Braden Bowra, he's rejoined with a bit of a buffer over Zach Needham, just as Needham was almost looking like he was going to dive up the inside. They head up into Hot World Fabrications again. Bowra makes the corner this time, so I'm sure the question may be asked with just over 4 laps left to go for KA3 Senior Medium, brought to you by WA Strata Management. Final lap here for KA3 Senior Medium, brought to you by WA Strata Management. And a big off from Braden Barra put Zach Needham well and truly back, but he's been hunting him down these last few laps, and now Needham might sense an opportunity to try and snatch a win on the final lap and put himself on the top step here at Bunbury City Kart Club. It might be a late move, but he's too far back up into Hot World Fabrications as they head up into the Avalon Transport Peak and onto the Bunbury Toyota Main Straight. Down the line, Braden Barrow will take the flag for KA3 Senior Medium. Zach Needham second on the road. Evan McCulloch will come on down for third. Marty King will come home P4. And Matthew Wilkins will round out your 5-kart field as the final race of the weekend here at the PatriciaCourse.com Goldstar Series from Bunbury City Kart Club. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a massive weekend here at Bunbury City Kart Club. Thank you all so much for being part of the final round of the PatriciaCourse.com Goldstar Series. On behalf of Bunbury City Kart Club, all the volunteers and officials, we thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us live online to follow all the action broadcast by 4-Star Media and promoted by our live streaming and event sponsors. If you like what you saw, make sure to like, follow and share all the content you find on social media, and head on over to 4-Star Media's YouTube page to share all the live video so you can go back, watch all the action and relive the awesome racing we've seen here this weekend. A massive thank you to our sponsors, Blackman Fabrication, Kartworks, of course Bunbury Kartworks, OJG Engineering, Vulcan Panel and Paint, Custom Engineering, MAS Equipment, TNN Sheet Metal, WA Strata Management, Air Force Air Conditioning Southwest, Kart Mart, Gasset Pipe Contracting, Weld East Fabrications, the West Australian KZ2 Committee, Bunbury Toyota, Avalon Transport, Blackman Fabrication, Mirrabooka and Nollamara Car Transport, All Out Towing Services, Totally Independent Tyre Services and Mechanical, TW Mechanical, Hot Weld Fabrication, Flat Out Karts, Arise Racing and Hanson Quarry for all supporting this weekend's event. It's been absolutely fantastic. On behalf of myself, Chris Mitchell, and everyone in 4-Star Media for bringing you all the action, we look forward to seeing you next time. Good night.